When driving in Arizona, move over or slow down for any flashing lights. Move over for tow truck drivers, highway crews, and emergency responders. Move over for any vehicle with its hazards flashing. Because at 65 miles per hour, a vehicle travels over 95 feet in 1 second. 1 second that could change everything. When you move over for anyone, you're not just doing it for them, you're doing it for their families. Their lives are flashing before your eyes. Move over, Arizona. Every vehicle, every time. It's the law. Please visit moveoveraz.org. This message is brought to you by ADOT and this station.
KTAR-FM, Glendale, Phoenix, Arizona's news station. KTAR News, 92.3 FM. KTAR News, now.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm Melody Burkett. We're waiting for more information after the Federal Aviation Administration confirmed a helicopter crash in Superior late this morning. The helicopter, which had 4 people on board, crashed at about 11 a.m. There's no word on casualties right now. The National Transportation Safety Board will lead the investigation into what happened. One man is dead following a double shooting in North Phoenix this afternoon. It happened around 1:30 in the area of 19th Avenue and Bell Road. Police tell us both victims were taken to the hospital, where one died a short time later. The investigation into what happened is just getting underway. We'll bring you more details as we get them. It'll be the Miami Hurricanes versus Ole Miss next week in Glendale for the Fiesta Bowl.
So we've been waiting for almost 4 weeks for these teams to emerge. And emerge they did.
Executive Director of the Arizona Sports Foundation, Eric Moses, made the announcement Friday at Sky Harbor. He says the Fiesta Bowl and orbiting activities pull in around $200 million every year for the Valley.
Every ticket that is purchased, every sponsorship, every donation that comes into our organization really helps to give back to this community and to support this community, and that's at the heart of what we do.
This year's bowl is acting as a semifinal, with the winning team advancing to the national championship game. William Padmore, KTAR News.
Meanwhile, WWE's Nikki Bella returns to the Valley as the Grand Marshal in tomorrow's Verbal Fiesta Bowl parade. She tells the Outspoken with Bruce and Gato's podcast she was so excited when she found out.
My brother was the first call to brag when I found out, and he was like, "What?" I'm like, "I know. Can you believe it?" Like, it truly is an honor being a Zoni. I mean, the Fiesta Bowl is just so iconic to our state.
The 1.5 mile parade starts at 10 a.m. in Central Phoenix. The sticking point that kept the government shut down at the end of 2025 was health care, and here in 2026, there's still no resolution. Political analyst Chuck Todd tells Arizona's Morning News this will continue to be a major issue within Congress.
Remember, government funding, the deal to open the government was just for expires later this month. I'm not saying the government's going to shut down again, but the chances ain't zero, and healthcare could be the trigger.
Affordable Care Act subsidies officially expired yesterday.
Highlight on housing.
Good news for home buyers in 2026. Founder of global real estate firm Immobilium, Sasha Paparek, says he expects buyers to continue to have more leverage this year as the market continues to stabilize after the COVID pandemic.
These situations when sellers are willing to take care of the closing costs, take care of the inspections and anything just to sell the property.
He says the Arizona housing market is coming down after a few fast-paced years, meaning buyers have more choices and less competition. The Cardinals have one game left in a season that's been riddled with unlucky injuries and unwatchable losses. But does this game really matter? Arizona Sports' Tyler Drake joined Arizona's Morning News to explain why it does.
It does matter for the guys that are looking to potentially have a roster spot next year, or fighting for a job, or maybe not even with the Cardinals, but another place.
The Cardinals travel to Los Angeles to take on the Rams for the last game of the season. You can catch it on our sister station, Arizona Sports 98.7. And now for a check on traffic from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center, here's Enrique Garcia.
Thank you, Melody. Phoenix with debris blocking the on-ramp on the Loop 202 South Mountain Freeway westbound at 17th Avenue. Mesa with a disabled vehicle on the on-ramp at US 60 Superstition Freeway westbound at Mill Avenue, and a look into our surface streets. Phoenix with a crash on 55th Avenue and McDowell Road. This report is brought to you by Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. Roth conversions mean tax-free growth. Consider whether a Roth conversion makes sense for you at assetpreservationwealth.com. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News.
Mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 52. Should be a nice weekend with mostly sunny skies with a high both Saturday and Sunday of 73. 10% chance of rain on Monday, partly cloudy with a high of 71. Right now, it's 72 degrees in Surprise. I'm Melody Burkett on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Outspoken.
Enough of the excuses. I'm tired of it.
Speaking up for Arizona.
For the last time, I'm a hard no.
Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. KTAR News 92.3 and the KTAR News app.
All right, I'm Barry Markson with Patricia Valencia. Oh, my goodness. What am I doing here?
Okay, is my mic on? There we go.
Yeah, there you are. Now I got you.
How are you doing, Barry?
I'm good. We're here for Bruce and Gatos. We are, you know what? We're the first live show of the year.
We are. I was thinking about that, too. Once you said that we had the best subs, I was like, what the heck?
That's right. This is every time they say, who is the first show of the year? It's going to be us.
Yeah, so speaking of, get us on YouTube if you want to watch. We're live. We're here.
That's true. All right, welcome to it. It's Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful New Year's and a great Christmas, and we're heading into a whole new year, but we're flashing back a little bit here, Patricia. Jack Smith. You remember him. He was a special prosecutor that was brought in during the Biden years to investigate a couple of things having to do with President Trump. The first, January 6th and the fake electors and all the things that went along with that from the 2020 election. And then also what came to be known as the Mar-a-Lago documents, right? The things that President Trump kept at Mar-a-Lago that he supposedly wasn't set to keep. And the reason we're talking about this now is Congress, the Republican-led House of Representatives, called Jack Smith in for a deposition. They made him testify all day under oath about what happened, and he was asked questions. Now, this was not broadcast to the public. This was not a public deposition, despite Jack Smith saying he wanted it to be public. He said, let's make it public.
And this was back in 2020.
No, 2020 is when...
2021.
Well, 2020 is when all the bad
Fake
stuff went down.
stuff happened.
Right. The deposition was a month or two ago. It just happened. So Congress is investigating. What the Republicans are trying to say now is they're investigating the investigators. They're saying charges were brought against people. What Jack Smith did was wrong. And so they're having hearings into whether what Jack Smith did was right or not. So this was Jack Smith's opportunity to testify under oath about his investigation and the findings that they had, and he testified to that. And what he said, what he was able to do here, Patricia, for the first time, was really lay out his case against President Trump and the fake electors and the people in the Trump administration who, according to him, were working toward, it was a scheme to overthrow the results of the election. So you remember in 2020, Joe Biden won, and President Trump and his supporters said that the election was stolen. They said that there was election.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal. I wasn't living here, but I heard about it.
It was a really big deal here in Arizona.
Everybody did.
Because we were a swing state, and it was the first time in Arizona, I think, in 30 years that a Democrat won in Arizona. That hadn't happened in a few decades, so it was a big thing. And so we lived through that. And in fact, Arizona was one of the states that had the so-called fake electors. And what that was, because I know you weren't here, it was in each presidential election, there's a slate of electors. Arizona has 11 electors. There's a slate of electors. One slate is Democratic, one is Republican, and whoever wins, that slate of electors is sent to Congress, and they say, these are our electors, these are who will vote in the Electoral College on behalf of Arizona for the person who won. So in Arizona in 2020, Joe Biden won. The election was certified, and the process in Arizona to be certified, it had to be signed off and approved by the governor and the attorney general and the secretary of state and the chief justice of the Arizona Supreme Court. That's the process. They were all except one were Republican. It was Doug Ducey and Mark Brnovich and other people. So they certified it. That was the famous thing where they were certifying. It was on TV, and they were at the table, and Trump called Ducey, and Ducey had put in his phone and had told the press and told the public that he had made his ringtone for President Trump calling him like "Hail to the Chief." Dun, 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 dun. So Ducey's literally sitting there getting ready to sign to certify this with the Attorney General and Secretary of State, and his phone goes off with that tone. So everyone knows it's President Trump calling him, basically, we think telling him not to sign it. And Ducey hits the button to silence his phone and then signs the certification. So Arizona certified the election for Joe Biden. But what the Republican electors did was their document shouldn't have been sent anywhere. They went and signed their document anyway as if it was real. They created their own document and said they're the real electors, and they signed it. And they sent that to Congress. They sent it to the Library of Congress. They sent it to the places where it's supposed to go as if it was real. And what Jack Smith testified in his deposition was that this was part of an elaborate scheme that President Trump and his supporters were doing to overturn the results of the election. That Joe Biden had won the election, and Trump was doing this to say, hey, we're going to try to create so much chaos and create issues that Joe Biden won't be sworn in and his election won't be certified by Congress on January 6th.
So everything's finally coming out.
That's what it's coming out now. Now, a lot of this we knew already, but now it's specific evidence. He laid out his evidence, and he said he had overwhelming evidence that what happened here was Trump doing this, that it was a scheme, and that Trump was trying to stay in power despite losing the election. So
what can happen after this now?
Well, not much. I mean, the criminal charges and cases against Trump have already been dismissed because he won the election. A new attorney general, Jack Smith, was fired. Trump is now encouraging the Department of Justice to prosecute Jack Smith. I don't know what crime he committed, but that's what they want to do. They've literally fired all of the lawyers who were working under Jack Smith in the special prosecutor's office. And these were line employees. These were not political appointees. These are people that have been working in the Justice Department for years under Republicans, under Democrats, just doing their job. They've all been fired. Not even just the attorneys, the assistants, the paralegals, the secretaries, anybody who had a part of this, as I've read now, they've fired them. Not because they've alleged to do their job wrong or do anything improperly or illegally, but because they happen to be working on this particular project. And by the way, they didn't pick the project. They were assigned to it, right? It'd be the same thing here if your boss here at the station said, Patricia, we want you to do this. And you said, okay. And you went and did your job. And then the next boss came in and said, you did that? You're fired. I mean, that's literally what happened.
I hope nobody fires me for hosting with Barry Markson today because they told me to.
We're going to find out for sure. So it's the testimony. I think what the Republicans in Congress were hoping for, they didn't get, and they did the dump. Patricia, and you know this because I know you know news. You know the dump is on a Friday afternoon. They give you the news. Because
everything breaks on a Friday.
So not only did they do that here, they did it on New Year's Eve. So they give it out like
even better. The end of the year.
Like here's end of the year. No one's paying attention on New Year's Eve. Here it is. So that just came out, and people are talking about it now. We'll see if it keeps going. But it was eye-opening testimony in many ways because Jack Smith was able to, over the course of the day, lay out all of the evidence that he found and his investigation found. And he testified that there's really no question that he came into this. He was nonpartisan. He had worked for Republicans and Democrats. He wasn't somebody that was coming to this as some big partisan Democrat, but that he said, what I found, the evidence that we uncovered, made it clear that not only did President Trump do this, but he put his Vice President Mike Pence, put his life in danger on January 6th. He really went through all of the evidence. It was an embarrassment, I think, for Trump and for some of these Republicans who are supporting him. We'll see if that goes anywhere. But your question is a good one. What happens now? Really nothing. What you're going to see is Congress this year continuing this investigation. The Republicans leading it now, and they're going to try to say that the old investigation that Jack Smith did was bogus. That's basically what's happening now. Well, are there going to be criminal charges against anybody associated with President Trump now? No. Could there be more indictments and criminal charges against people like Jack Smith and the people who worked on this? Yes. Because you're seeing that with Trump now, right, where they're bringing charges against James Comey and they're bringing charges against Letitia James in New York. They're bringing charges against Trump's perceived political enemies, and he thinks Jack Smith is a political enemy.
Well,
so you may see criminal charges against him now.
I'm going to say you probably heard it here first from Barry Markson.
I don't know about that, but it's going to be pretty interesting to see where this plays out in the future. But it has to be scary for someone like Jack Smith. As you know, I'm an attorney, just someone doing his job. He went where he was told to go. He was assigned to something. He took the job, and now not only has he been fired, not only is he under the gun, he testified in Congress.
They're going to be revealed.
And by testifying in Congress, he under oath, he opens himself up for perjury. Because now they can go back and compare statements he made here to other statements, and if he finds any discrepancy, anything where he just remembered something wrong, they can say he lied to Congress, and that's a felony. So there's all sorts of issues here for him personally.
I was going to say, let's see what happens to him personally.
Yeah, to see if they charge him. So we'll see what happens. So Barry Markson here with Patricia Valencia. I'm excited to be here with you. And we've got a big show coming up for you today. On the other side, if you're doing Chat GPT, do you do Chat GPT or Grok on X?
No, I haven't done it, but I've know people that have done it.
It's I don't use it enough. I've been hearing I'm supposed to use it more, but here's something that Grok is doing now. Grok is
I'm
the one
scared to use it.
Grok is the one assigned with Twitter, right? It's Elon Musk's AI.
Right.
And on Grok, I have to tell you what they're doing here. It's freaking me out, and I think for women it's even worse what Grok is doing to photographs of women. We're going to talk about that when we get back. Right now, let's get an update from the KTAR News Center. We'll get an update on the news, and then back with more of Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos.
It's Gatos. Say goodbye to water spots, dry skin, and harsh chlorine, and say hello to the Kinetico Premier XP Model Q850OD-XP. That's right, the world's most efficient water softener. The Kinetico Premier XP is a non-electric twin-tank system that runs on water pressure, not power, and right now, Aquazona is offering special financing. Pay no interest if paid in full in 12 months, but only for a limited time. Find a whole house water system that's WQA certified, removes hard water, gives you softer water 24/7, and beats the Kinetico Q850 ODXP in efficiency, and they'll buy it for you. They've been helping Arizona families love their water since 1987. Call 602-910-6570 or visit Aquazona.com today. Aquazona is an independent authorized Kinetico dealer. Aquazona, better water, better life.
KTAR News Flash.
At 4:15, I'm Melody Burkett, and this is what you need to know right now. After spending too much money during the holidays, you can quickly get your budget back on track by limiting spending to bare necessities in the days and weeks ahead. Credit repair specialist Paul Oster shares more tips with ABC News.
The holidays should be festive, not financed. So put a holiday fund in place right now, a couple of bucks a week towards, the holiday fund, and that will help save you going into next year for sure.
All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app. And now for a check on traffic, here's Enrique Garcia live from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Melody. Mesa with a crash on the right-hand shoulder, US 60 Superstition Freeway, eastbound approaching the Loop 101 Price Freeway southbound transition. A look into our surface streets, Phoenix with a crash involving a pedestrian on 55th Avenue and McDowell Road. This report is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at k2visionrle.com. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News, now back with Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos.
All right, welcome back. It's the Bruce and Gatos Show. It's Outspoken. I'm Barry Markson with Patricia Valencia. Thanks for being here with us on KTAR. And Patricia, this scared the heck out of me when I started seeing this. If you're on Twitter at all, on X, and
scared me when you just mentioned it earlier.
And you have any familiarity with AI now, right? And I don't do
it's everywhere.
It is everywhere, and I guess a lot of people are using it like I would use Google, I would just I type something into Google, I want to hear.
Sure.
Yeah. And now you do it with ChatGPT or with Grok or any of these other ones, and I've done it a couple times now, and it is good. I do it on my phone. If I ask Siri a question, it's ChatGPT that answers it, and it comes back with a more thorough answer, and then you can ask it another more detailed question.
I guess I've done that, doing the search on the web, on Google, because right away it will say AI generated.
Right.
So I guess I am using it in a certain way, but searching up things.
Apparently, if you really formulate your question well, you can get a lot more information, a lot more detail. You have to get better. I have to get better. I don't know what I'm doing, but I have to get better. I actually just took a lawyer class for
on ChatGPT.
Yeah, on how you can use. I'm a mediator now, so how are mediators using ChatGPT and AI? And it was interesting because people are like, "Do you use it?" I'm like, "No."
How would you use that in a lawyer situation?
Well, there's a few ways you can use it. You have to buy a subscription and use a special one where there's privacy. But you can take all these documents that I get in every mediation I do. I can get thousands of pages.
Break them down probably easier.
You scan them and put them into AI, and it gives you scan this, read this, and give me a 3-page summary.
Oh my gosh! So the AI basically does what you do when we call you up and say, "Hey Barry, explain this to us."
That's right.
We don't know what's going on in this court document.
But it has not even a court document. It's all the factual stuff. It's incredible. So anyway, there's a lot going on with this. It's going to be it's the future. As much as we may or may not like it. But what's going on with Grok right now is a little different. Most of these AI bots, they won't do anything having to do with sex or anything
Right,
that's
because it's nudity or graphic. Or, yeah, they kind of had that weeded out.
So Grok apparently doesn't have quite the same guidelines as some of these other ones.
I think it's because he's on X.
I think so. Well, it's an Grok is Elon Musk.
There's no guidelines on X.
It's Elon Musk AI. So what people are doing now, this just started, is you put a picture on Twitter or just online and say, so let's say they did a picture of me. So somebody, I don't know why I'm giving people this idea. They already do this on their own by hand. So let's say you take a picture of me and let's say I'm wearing a suit and there's a picture of me in a suit. And then they can ask Grok, hey, Grok, take this picture and make him wearing a bikini. And Grok will literally take the picture, and it looks like I'm wearing a bikini.
Yeah, that's scary.
But here's where it's scary for you to see me in a bikini. But where it gets scary to me, Patricia, is if you did that, right? So if you have a picture, if you have a picture online, a woman, and somebody says that. Now, this isn't them doing it at home in the privacy of their home and just being creepy on their own, which is bad enough, by the way. It's public. It's on Twitter.
Right.
So it's take this picture, and I want to see this person in a skimpy bikini, or I want to see her in lingerie. And Grok does it and posts the picture publicly.
Right away.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen a lot. I have to admit, I'm guilty of whenever I see somebody ask Grok something, I'll go in and I'll open to see what they're talking about or what the answer is or what it came back with, because it's interesting.
It's scary.
But it is scary.
So they're doing the things.
And it's fast.
Now it is very fast. Now I haven't seen any of these pictures about individual like women where they're doing this, but apparently it's happening a lot. I've seen pictures on Twitter where someone will post a picture of President Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, like one of those pictures we've all seen now of them together, right? From 20 years ago.
And the generated too.
And then they'll say, Grok, show me this picture, but remove the pedophile. And the picture, Grok will put the picture up without Jeffrey Epstein being in the picture. Oh my God. It's incredible. So, and it looks like it's just like he's never been there. It's like the perfect new picture. So it's crazy. But what's going on right now I think this is really scary for women. I mean, it's going to be scary for me too if someone does it to me. But if you're a woman and someone can take just a normal picture of you and take you out and put you in any circumstance, including some level of sexual circumstances or nudity. Now, Grok says it's not doing direct nudity, but it's very close. And some people say it has done it in nudity.
In certain situations.
Yeah, it slips through. But also you could do it in certain sexual situations or other things. It's really, really scary.
That's very nerve-wracking.
People are calling for Elon Musk and for Grok to not do that.
Well, even all over Facebook, I saw not too long ago, like around Christmas time, people were telling everybody to make them look like they're in a Christmas setting with, holding a candy cane with the jumpsuit on, and everybody had that same picture, but it looked just like them, which is really creepy.
Yeah, so you can take your picture and put it in any circumstance.
Yeah, and I saw some girl comment, and she put on there like, let me tell you how to do it, and she gave you the whole paragraph of what you have to tell AI to make it produce that photo.
That's what I was learning in that class, by the way, is how to ask.
It's like coding.
Yeah, it's if you ask it a better way, you get better, more detailed response.
Well, were you in the MySpace days? Did you use MySpace?
I didn't use it, but I know what it is. I never did MySpace.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just like coding. You just spit at it certain codes and the computer comes back with and now it's just so much easier to use. Right. You just use normal language and it comes out with photos like that. That is scary.
Maybe I have an idea for myself now. I'm gonna have a picture of me and say make me taller and skinnier. Maybe it can do that for me. That'll be the new me.
Oh, you're like, look at me.
Can I do that on our YouTube?
Post it on your X.
On our YouTube page, can I say, hey Grok, take my YouTube and just make me taller and skinnier and better looking? Can I do that?
Probably, but I don't know if it'd be live.
I'm surprised the station isn't doing that with all the hosts except for you, Patricia. But for all the guy hosts, they should be like, make them look better. My goodness. I mean,
Gatos always complains about the lighting in here.
Yes.
So I think maybe the lighting would be better.
Yeah, that's the problem for Gatos. It's the lighting.
It would fix him.
That's the problem. It's the lighting. Yes. The problem is they took all these guys who've been on radio for a long time for a reason and put us on TV. It makes no sense.
It's the TV.
The one thing I hear all the time when someone hears I'm on the radio, they're like, oh, yeah, you have that voice. You have a great voice for radio. And I say, well, thank you for saying I don't have a great face for radio, because that's what I usually hear.
I always get you don't look like what I thought you did. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but thanks. I don't know. Maybe.
Whenever someone says that to me, I know it's worse.
Scary.
We had a guy I used to work with 100 years ago on radio, and his name is I know there's a guy on our station named Commander Bill. It's not him, but there was another guy. His radio name was Commander Bill.
Okay.
And he had this great voice, and he spoke. He just sounded like this, like you're going to see a guy in a suit and tie, and this executive guy, and then you go to meet him, and he's like a homeless person they brought in off the street. You're like, oh my god, like he's missing teeth, and his hair hasn't been washed. You're like, wow.
Well, look at Howard Stern. He's not the best looking guy,
That's
but he made
true,
big in radio.
Radio's the way to, but now they're putting us on TV.
I know.
It doesn't make
Hi.
any sense. Well, anyway, this
I just saw myself.
you look great. This is perfect for you. They put you next to me on the screen. You look fantastic. But this is scary. I think this is a scary thing
Yes,
that
it is.
they have.
There should be a way to stop this. Is Elon going to stop this?
I hope so. Well, he always wants to say we let everything go and it's a free speech thing. This isn't free speech. This shouldn't be able. It's abusive.
It's very abusive. It's creepy, and it's borderline criminal.
Yeah, it's really, really wrong, and I hope he does put a stop to it. It should be pretty easy. Like I said, the other ones, ChatGPT and the others, they don't do that. They won't do that. So hopefully they'll change it soon.
Yes, hopefully.
All right, coming up, Melody Burkett is here in the KTAR News Center. We're going to get an update. And then this is big news, breaking news here in Phoenix. Is ICE heading to Phoenix? Are we the next location where ICE is going to come down and start to enforce immigration laws right here in Phoenix? That's the news report we're seeing. We're going to talk about that right after the news. Stay with us. Patricia Valencia, Barry Markson, in for Bruce and Gatos. It's Outspoken on KTAR.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Call Doug Hopkins, 1-800-SELL now. Call Doug Hopkins, 1-800-SELL now.
I'm Doug Hopkins with My Home Group and DougHopkins.com, and I want to buy your house. If you're considering selling your home for any reason, do yourself a favor and let us show you how we can give you more. With no agent fees, no commissions, no repairs, and no showings, you can get a straightforward cash deal that you can close on in as little as 3 days. Other buyers may try to make you an offer without ever seeing your home. They may try to lower that offer or even cancel the deal after inspecting it. I will never do that. Our team will come out to your house and make you a fair as-is cash offer on the spot and will never cancel after the deal is signed for any reason. That's the Doug Hopkins difference. See for yourself why more people trust the Doug Hopkins team. Visit us today at DougHopkins.com or
call Doug Hopkins, 1-800-SELL now. Call Doug Hopkins, 1-800-SELL now.
Think about the moments that matter most in kids' lives. For children in the hospital, some of those moments may be missed, but with your help, they don't have to be. Make more moments possible today. Your donation to Phoenix Children's will be tripled match up to $50,000 thanks to Cornerstone Staffing, Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, and Liberty Buick GMC. Time is running out. This is your last chance to make a life-changing impact for patients at Phoenix Children's. Donate today. Text GIVE to 620-620. That's GIVE to 620-620. Donate today at givetopch.org. That's givetopch.org.
The 34th Annual Maricopa County Home and Garden Show is back.
January 9th through 11th at the Arizona State Fairgrounds.
This is your one-stop shop to upgrade your home, garden, and lifestyle.
Tour the Tiny Home Street of Dreams.
Indulge your way through Taste of the Desert.
And explore hundreds of plants, decor, and garden treasures.
Plus, over 1,000 home improvement experts offering home show-only deals you won't find anywhere else. January 9th through 11th at the Arizona State Fairgrounds.
Tickets and details at mchomeshows.com.
Hey, it's Brewmed. I'm with Dan from Creative Environments, Design, Pool, Spa, and Landscape. What can people expect when they work with Creative Environments?
We have a very sophisticated system and process and standards that we have documented over the years that put us to where we're at today. One of the most award-winning companies in the nation and recognized by some of the biggest leaders in the building industry.
Go to creativeenvironments.com. That's creativeenvironments.com.
KTAR, the voices of Arizona. Arizona's morning news. Mike Broomhead, Chris and Joe, outspoken, alongside Arizona's largest radio news team, covering the valley, your city, your neighborhood. KTAR News.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-961-3044. 800-961-3044. 800-961-3044.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KTAR News now.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. I'm Melody Burkett. Pima County announces its first confirmed measles case since 2019.
According to Pima County Public Health Director Dr. Teresa Cohen, an individual crossed the southern border and tested positive for the disease in Pima County on December 31st. This case adds to the more than 200 cases diagnosed in the state since June, but is the first in Pima County. Cohen says the best way to prevent the disease is getting vaccinated. The next best thing is early recognition.
Individuals that have the symptoms that we have described, a cough, a rash starts from the head, goes down, runny nose, red eyes, may or may not have had any kind of exposure. We recommend that people seek care immediately.
Symptoms can appear up to 14 days after you've been exposed to the measles. If you are seeking care for these symptoms, Cullen says make sure you wear a mask, adding it's easily spread to those who are unvaccinated.
Out of every 20 people that may come in contact with an acute case of measles, 18 may acquire the disease.
Elizabeth Klein, KTAR News.
Residents and tourists ran into the streets of Acapulco this morning after an earthquake struck southern and central Mexico.
The quake, with a magnitude of 6.5, could be felt 300 miles away in Mexico City, where President Claudia Sheinbaum was conducting her first weekly press conference of the year.
Ya muy pronto, espero la próxima semana, lunes o martes. Hoy está temblando.
The room was evacuated, but Sheinbaum returned later to say that she had spoken with the governor of Guerrero State, where the quake was centered, and was told that so far there were no reports of serious damage. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The Miami Hurricanes and Ole Miss will duke it out in Glendale next week for the Fiesta Bowl. Announcing the teams at Sky Harbor today, Executive Director of the Arizona Sports Foundation, Eric Moses, says the game is one of the state's most important sporting events. He says the Fiesta Bowl and surrounding activities pull in around $200 million every year for the Valley. This year's bowl is acting as a semifinal, with the winning team advancing to the national championship game. Meanwhile, the Verbo Fiesta Bowl parade kicks off tomorrow at 10 a.m. in Central Phoenix. Now for a check on traffic from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center, here's Enrique Garcia.
Thank you, Melody. Phoenix with a crash blocking the right-hand lane, Loop 101, Pima Freeway westbound near the I-17 transition. Mesa with a crash in the right-hand shoulder, US 60 Superstition Freeway eastbound approaching the Loop 101 Price Freeway southbound transition. And Tempe with a crash in the right-hand shoulder, Loop 202 Red Mountain Freeway westbound approaching Scottsdale Road. This report is brought to you by Red Mountain Weight Loss. Get a free month of GLP-1 weight loss medication, a $2.99 value when you start any testosterone program, only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Hit pound 250 on your phone and keyword Red Mountain. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News.
Mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 52. Should be a nice weekend with sunny skies and a high of 73 both Saturday and Sunday. Right now it's 71 in Mesa. I'm Melody Burkett on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos.
All right, welcome back, everybody. KTAR Live and local here on January 2nd. Welcome to the new year. It's 2026. You have 28 more days to keep writing 2025 on your checks.
Oh, my gosh. It was so hard for me today saving a file in the computer. I almost, the only reason why it told me to change it. It was like, this file already exists. I'm like, oh, yes, because it's now 2026.
Because it's a year later.
Not 2025.
It generally takes me like a month to get used to that.
This is my first time back at work, too, so it's kind of weird.
Is that right? Yeah.
I didn't work this morning. We didn't have the Mike Broomhead show.
That's true.
So I literally walked in the doors at this time. It was so weird.
Well, that's Patricia Valencia. I'm Barry Markson, sitting in for the boys here on Outspoken. This is huge news here in Phoenix. We've all seen what's going on around the country. President Trump and his administration obviously enforcing immigration laws in a much stronger way. They've been sending ICE and in some cases the military, the National Guard, but they've been sending ICE into different cities. We've seen it in Los Angeles. We've seen it in Chicago. We've seen it in Charlotte and other places. The report is, and this out of the Bulwark, which is a news site online, the report is that they're next coming to Phoenix, Patricia, that this is going to be, ICE is going to kind of descend on Phoenix. They're going to up the number of...
I feel like it was only a matter of time.
I guess so. I guess they're going everywhere.
Why didn't they come here sooner, honestly?
Well, it's true. But and you're right. In Arizona, we are a swing state, but we have a Democratic governor. We have a Democratic mayor here in Phoenix. So it does seem like
Not to mention a border state.
And we are a border state. And also, what I don't think, I didn't realize this necessarily, that they're building now a lot of facilities to hold a lot of people that ICE is, I don't know if you're saying they're arresting them or detaining them, but they're holding them, waiting for deportation or a determination of what they should do with them. So this is a big thing for Phoenix, and this is, according to this report from the Bulwark, this is coming. There's going to be more DHS presence in the metropolitan Phoenix area. They're going to raise this up, and then some of the facilities they're building here are reminders of, if you remember Sheriff Joe Arpaio, Tent City, where we used to house people. The jails and some prisons, for county prisons, were just outdoor tents without heat, which is fine right now.
Sort of like a hub?
It's 65. Well, it was just an outdoor tents. They had a huge facility with all these tents that would house people with no air conditioning, which, again, right now is fine. But in the summer, it was brutal. I mean, it was just very warm, and they didn't care, right? That was as Joe Arpaio liked to. We were going to be tough on criminals, and we're not worried about it. But oftentimes, people held in that jail hadn't been convicted of anything yet. They were awaiting their trial. Here, we have ICE is going to come in, and from the big beautiful bill, ICE is flush with money. They are hiring people left and right. They're expanding the number of people they have. They have all this money, more money than the FBI, the CIA, all these other law enforcement federal agencies combined. ICE has more money than all of them. So they're coming to Phoenix, according to this. And I wanted to ask you, Patricia, you're in the Hispanic community here.
I am? Just kidding.
But this is something that in other cities, what we've seen, and this has been dealt with in the courts as well, is that ICE is pulling people over or making contact with people based on nothing more than them appearing to be Hispanic or speaking Spanish. And they hear someone speaking Spanish, and then they go over to them. Not because they have evidence or information that they're here in the country illegally, not because they've committed a crime of any sort, but nothing more than looking Hispanic and speaking Spanish. And I wanted to ask, how do you feel about that? I mean, I don't think I'd feel very good about that. I don't feel good about it now, and I'm not Hispanic. But how does that make you feel? How do you think?
Well, first of all, if they heard me speaking Spanish, they would for sure know that I am not doing anything wrong, because I cannot speak Spanish for the life of me.
Okay.
With the last name like Valencia, that's pretty much the extent of my Spanish.
That's it.
No, but I guess if they did pull me over, I would be offended, first of all, because I would think that they were, wanting to get the most criminal migrants or activity. I'm assuming that's because of what I've heard of what they've said that they're doing. But so what am I doing?
Right.
That seems criminal activity to you? That would offend me in the first place.
Right.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
No.
I mean, if I did something wrong.
So if you're saying if you had contact with the police because you had, or let's say it's you, for example, but you had done something illegally, right? Let's say you or someone had shoplifted from a Walmart,
right? And
the police were called and they came out and now they have you. Now they're questioning you about the shoplifting, and then ICE comes. You think it's okay then because now
right? Because first of all, why are you shoplifting?
Right.
I think that's, what they're trying to weed out of our country is people that are doing criminal activities. That's what they're saying.
Right.
But
they're doing much more
than
that.
I'm not doing anything wrong if I'm not shoplifting. So I don't know. That's a weird situation because I think that's definitely a case by case situation.
Yeah.
Because I obviously am not doing anything wrong. I wouldn't be doing anything wrong to call any attention like that to myself.
Yeah. And I know you haven't been in Phoenix that long yet, but this flashes back for me and folks who have been here to SB 1070, Senate Bill 1070.
That's what you're mentioning.
Yeah, and this is something that the Arizona legislature passed, and Joe Arpaio was enforcing this as Maricopa County Sheriff. But it was kind of the same thing. They were basically using that to say they could pull people over and ask them for evidence that they're here in the country legally for no other reason than they were Hispanic.
And just to pull them over.
And the courts eventually found that to be unconstitutional. But we had to go through this whole process here, and it was a very bad time in Arizona, I think, and in Maricopa County, and it resulted in huge lawsuits, and now the monitor that we have, the federal monitor, it's cost Maricopa County hundreds of millions of dollars for this, what was really a political move and nothing much more than that. This reminds me of that a little bit in the same way it's treating the Hispanic community. I don't like it. I don't think it's constitutional, frankly. I will tell you though, there have been a couple of these Supreme Court cases recently this year, I guess last year, 2025, where they've been asked to rule on some of this where Trump has ICE in these cities. And they've allowed it. And in fact, the second to last case, not the last one, but the second to last case, Justice Kavanaugh actually wrote that whether you're Hispanic or speaking Spanish can be used as one of the things that can be used to determine if you can be pulled over and have contact. Right. That started to be used by ICE, and they started to be known as Kavanaugh stops because they interpreted what Justice Kavanaugh wrote to mean that they can stop you for no other reason. Justice Kavanaugh, in the last case, it just happened. That report just came out where they rejected Trump's ability to have troops in Chicago and other places. And Kavanaugh was interesting as a Supreme Court justice. In a footnote, basically said you can't pull somebody over and have that contact just because someone's Hispanic or speaking Spanish. He tried to go back. I don't think he meant it that way the first time. He wanted it to be part of other things. It was one of several factors.
So this was just recent that he did that?
You
know, it's funny. I met him this year.
Justice Kavanaugh?
I did.
Where'd you meet him?
It's because in Washington. Oh. Me and Mike went to Washington, D.C., and I got to meet Justice Kavanaugh.
Mike's
it's because he met me. That's why he changed
That
things.
must have been it. But I think this is me talking now. I don't know this, but I think Justice Kavanaugh found out they were calling these Kavanaugh stops, and he
didn't like that.
And it was. I think they expanded what he wrote. I don't think that's what he meant, and he's trying to clarify that now. But are we worried about this happening in Phoenix? If ICE is coming here, if this report is correct, and this is the Bulwark, it's a real news organization. If this report is correct and Phoenix is the next hub of this, are we concerned about that in the Hispanic community? What do you think?
You know, I don't necessarily disagree with what ICE is doing if what they're doing is what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? If they're going after the worst criminals and that's what they're doing and taking out of our country, then I don't disagree with that. But there's reports, sometimes that we hear of otherwise. So I don't know what to believe.
We're going to find out. If they're really coming here, we're going to see it. We're going to be on the national news every night, and hopefully
it's good stuff.
Hopefully it's better. I will say this: what Trump's doing with the enforcement of immigration rules right now, a lot of people don't like how this is looking right now. Even people who supported Trump and support immigration. The issue I think he's having politically is he stopped the illegal immigration at the border. That's over now, right? There's basically none. That's what was upsetting us, right? As Arizonans, a lot of people who are upset about the border, the lack of border security, that part's gone. So he's actually taken care of the biggest issue and taken it off the board. And now...
That's why you think most Arizonans are upset.
I think so, because now it's like what you're saying. We're pulling people over who didn't do anything.
Just doing it for the sake of just doing it.
Yeah, and it's not... If you pull over a criminal and you kick them out of the country... I think most everybody's
That's what I'm saying. If I ran an illegal stop sign or did something wrong and they pulled me over and then they said, "Hey, by the way, what's your immigration status here?" I guess they have the right to ask because I was doing something wrong.
In some ways, President Trump is a victim of his own success because he stopped what was happening at the border that Biden didn't do. Now people are scrutinizing the latest part and saying, "Hey, this isn't what we wanted. You did what we wanted. Move on." But Trump's not stopping. All right, on the other side, we're going to talk about this. What if your company said you can't wear shoes at work? You get to the office, you have to take your shoes off. And do you have any friends who are doing this in their house now? I do. You go to their house, they invite you over, and the first thing they say is, you can't wear your shoes in my house. We'll talk about that next. That's Patricia Valencia. I'm Barry Markson, in for Bruce and Gatos. It's KTAR.
It's Gatos, and choosing dental implants is one of the most important health decisions you'll ever make. At Aria Dental Implant Center in Phoenix, they're locally owned and proud to offer world-class care in their state-of-the-art facility. With decades of experience and thousands of smiles restored, my buddy Dr. Joe and their expert team deliver results you can trust. Unlike the gimmick dentistry you see elsewhere, bait and switch pricing, fake limited time offers, or surprise add-on fees, at Aria, you'll always know exactly what to expect. That's why they've earned over 500 five-star Google reviews from patients who felt truly cared for. This is your health, not a sales pitch. Come experience the Aria difference. You'll be glad you did. Aria is helping patients regain their quality of life while saving thousands and thousands of dollars compared to other implant centers. Go see my good friend Dr. Joe today. Their website, AriaDentalImplantCenter.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey, it's Mike Broomhead. Accidents happen unexpectedly. If it ever happens to you, call the attorneys at Sweet James. Sweet James has an office right here in Phoenix, run by world-class attorneys that are part of your community, and they are proud partners of your Phoenix Suns. Sweet James is all about winning, and they win 98% of the time, because when you're hurt, you are counting on someone to deliver for you. Winning big is everything. That's why you call Sweet James at 800-9-MILLION. That's 800-9-MILLION or sweetjames.com. Awarded best attorneys in America. Proud partner of your Phoenix Suns.
Hey y'all, I'm Kelly Clarkson. Every American dreams of creating a better life for his or her family, but in some communities, those dreams face difficult challenges. When we come together to help those in need get the same opportunities as everyone else, we truly are making our country a better place to live for all of us. So look for volunteer opportunities in your community to help others achieve the American dream, all right? This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
KTAR News Flash.
At 4:46, I'm Melody Burkett, and this is what you need to know right now. From murder to car theft to drug overdoses, statistics suggest improvement between 2024 and 2025. Even fatal car crashes were down last year.
Tragically, more than 17,000 people died on the nation's roadways in the first 6 months of 2025. As bad as that sounds, it's still an 8% decline from the January to June period in 2024. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration credits collaboration between federal, state, and local law enforcers to reduce traffic fatalities.
That's ABC's Jim Ryan. All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app. And now for a check on traffic, here's Enrique Garcia, live from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Melody. Mesa with a crash on the right-hand shoulder, US 60 Superstition Freeway, westbound near Power Road. Chandler with a crash on the exit ramp, Loop 101 Price Freeway, southbound, approaching Rave Road, and a look into our surface streets, Peoria with a crash involving a bicyclist on 99th Avenue and Peoria Avenue. This report is brought to you by Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. Roth conversions mean tax-free growth. Consider whether a Roth conversion makes sense for you at assetpreservationwealth.com. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-7246. In Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. That's 837-7246. 837-7246.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos.
All right, welcome back. It's Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. Patricia Valencia, Barry Markson in for the boys, and hope you're having a wonderful 2026. The first
Friday.
That's right, first Friday, the first live show of the year here on KTAR. Thanks for being with us, and special thanks to our friends out in Chandler. I didn't say thanks to you earlier, but special thanks to our friends out in Chandler. Thanks for listening to KTAR. This portion of the show is brought to you by Parker and Sons AC, Plumbing and Electrical, celebrating 50 years of helping our customers and community. Call Parker. So, Patricia,
Did you take your shoes off, Barry?
So I'll tell you, this story it resonated with me. That the thing I saw was that companies now, and it's a lot of new startups and tech companies, they're requiring that in the office workers take their shoes off.
Is this like a Gen Z thing or like a millennial thing? I don't know what
it's like a combination
generation?
of being comfortable. Some people think it's people have been working from home for so long.
I was going to say, is it just to remind them about working remotely?
Yeah, we want you back in the office, but we know you like to be comfortable, so you can wear your pajamas and your socks. Are you more creative that way? I don't. It's ridiculous. But but companies are actually doing this, and some other technical companies that used to do it are going back to shoes now. As they get bigger, they feel they have to do, I guess, more normal stuff. But it hit me because I have some friends now who are, if you go to their house, require you to take their shoes off. And it's to me, it's a
little much.
It's a little much. It's a little. Look, these are my good friends, and I'm not trying to say they're being rude. They're doing it for their own reasons, and we could talk about that. I think it's a little rude. It's like you're coming to my house, and I say, first thing, take your shoes off. And And by the way, if you don't know in advance, some people take their shoes off. They've got a hole in their sock. They didn't wear their footwear, or they didn't wear socks, and now they're walking around.
They have odor. You never know.
That's right. Or their toenails haven't been clipped. I mean, it could be kind of gross.
Are these the same people you say have a dog that runs through the house as well? Because I could understand. Okay, let me put this out there for people listening. When he first told me this, my thought was people that have allergies, to certain things. Okay, that's understandable. They don't want certain things treaded through their home that makes them sick. Okay.
Well, I agree with that.
Right.
Sure.
But then you mentioned they have a dog.
Right.
And the dog goes outside and he runs through the house and he brings the same stuff in. That is a little weird to me.
It's not an allergy.
So see, it doesn't
not an allergy
matter.
Thing. They just don't want the dirt in. They don't want.
Well,
and look, and
what
I
about
get
the dirt on the dog?
But that's what I said. See, you and I are on the same page here, Patricia. This is perfect. That's what I said. I said, you're telling me I can't wear my shoes in here, but your dog, who is disgusting. Your dog goes through everything. You're just walking through poop.
And I was going to say he's probably defecating and walking through it and then bringing it inside and then getting on the couch.
Exactly. Now, in both cases, it's people who bought a new home or like just remodeled their home, so everything's new. And I get, they want their stuff to stay looking new and clean.
At least for a while. And then
I get it. And
break it in.
And for me, it's like you want to do that in your house. You come in, and like some people have like home slippers, right? They come in, they take their shoes off, they put on their little home slips. So they have, or they even have shoes, but they're house shoes. Like they only wear them in the house.
I've been places, let's say, like there's a indoor playground place, and they make the adults, wear the covers on their shoes.
Right.
But that's because they don't want them to ruin, the types of materials on the ground, which makes sense.
And by the way, if I'm walking around barefoot, like, I don't know, my feet really don't sweat or anything, but that's more gross to me than my shoes. It's like you're letting me, my bare feet.
What if you get something on your feet?
Yeah, or my feet have been sweating in my socks all day, and now I'm going to walk barefoot on your carpet.
That
and
seems gross.
It does to me, but that's not what they're doing. So
They could probably be like, bring your own socks.
Exactly.
BYOS.
So when I saw so when I saw this thing where they're doing this at work now, it's like, so I have to go to work and take my shoes off. It's just crazy. Is that more comfortable for you? Like at home, do you walk around barefoot or in socks?
No, I hate being barefoot.
Okay.
First of all, I do walk around with like slippers or sandals.
Okay.
I can't just do socks. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's all because the darn dogs are running through and there's dirt.
There's dirt everywhere.
See, I have a dog issue.
If you have a dog and your dog goes outside, which of course your dog goes outside,
Your floor is going to be dirty.
I mean, come on.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, your dog's running over the grass.
Unless
and the
they're
dirt
wearing
and the
little booties and you
Yes.
take them off every time they come in.
If you want to put the dog in booties and take them off on the inside, I will stop complaining. But yeah, my friends are, because they know.
Put it past people, honestly.
I'm not shy about these things, Patricia. So I tell my friends, and then they always kind of look at me and cringe. I'm like, it's your house. You want me to take my shoes
All
off?
right,
I'll take
here
my
we
shoes
go.
off. And then I tell them, I got to tell you, the shirt comes off with the shoes. It's up to you. The shirt's coming off with the shoes.
Now we're getting out of control here. Out of control.
Every woman here just looked at me and went, "Oh, that's disgusting." All
You're
right.
very outspoken.
That was good. Look how you did that. I saw what you did there. All right. Welcome back. Melody Burkett standing by in the KTAR News Center. We're going to give you an update on what's happening around the country and here in Arizona in just a minute. And then when we get back, we're going to give you an update on more of what the Trump administration is doing right now, both the report from Jack Smith and I think we've got some other things that's been going on, the enforcement of some new immigration laws that are going into effect right now. So we'll give you that next. That's Patricia Valencia. I'm Barry Markson. In for the boys, it's Outspoken on KTAR.
It's one thing to save for retirement. It's entirely another thing to be ready for retirement. Hey, it's Bruce St. James, and Trajan Wealth helped me build a real plan. A plan that wasn't about guesswork. It was about peace of mind. Their fiduciary advisors sat down with me, explained everything in terms that I could understand, gave me options, asked me questions, and never once did they try to sell me something I didn't need. I'm a client now, and I refer my friends and family to them because I couldn't be any happier. If you want a clear path forward, well, call Trajan Wealth today. The number is 480-990-3300. That's 480-990-3300. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC registered, investment advisor, client, paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey guys, it's Broomhead. If you have low T, it's time to get your edge back. Starting testosterone therapy with Red Mountain Weight Loss and get a month of GLP-1 weight loss medication absolutely free. That's a $299 value. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone restores the get up and go so you'll feel like you're 20 again. Gain more muscle with less effort in the gym. You'll also think better. You'll sleep better. Your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. It's a game changer. And if you're looking to lose weight, there's nothing like the combo of testosterone and GLP-1 medication. It'll burn that belly fat and get you ripped. This month, get free GLP-1 medication, a $299 value, when you start testosterone therapy at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment today. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your smartphone, keyword Red Mountain. Time to get your edge back at Red Mountain Weight Loss.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When it comes to vision, the name you need to know is Dr. Jay Schwartz at the Schwartz Laser Eye Center, the team eye doc for the Suns and the Diamondbacks. Ready to ditch glasses and contacts? LASIK is your winning play. Quick procedure, fast recovery, and trusted results. Not a LASIK candidate? Evo ICL or Clear Lens Exchange would be your next move for sharp, clear vision. Free consultations at Scottsdale, Glendale, and Mesa. Schedule now at teamidoc.com or call 480-483-EYES. The Schwartz Laser Eye Center, trusted for over 25 years.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
Because when I'm a teacher, I can help kids to learn and chase their dreams.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Sam a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a lot of caring teachers to make school fun. It took a lot of caring people to keep my dream alive. And now, because of them, I can be head of the class.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
Before you fly, take a trip to your local MVD office or authorized third-party provider with your required documents and get the new AZ Travel ID with the Gold Star for your new driver's license or ID. Starting May 2025, this new AZ Travel ID gets you through TSA security checkpoints. It's quick and easy. Think of it as your license to fly. Learn how to get your new ID at aztravelid.com. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
KTAR-FM, Glendale, Phoenix, Arizona's news station. KTAR News, 92.3 FM. KTAR News, now.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Melody Burkett. Miami will face off against Mississippi and Glendale next week as the teams compete in this year's Fiesta Bowl. Announcing the teams at Sky Harbor Friday, Executive Director of the Arizona Sports Foundation, Eric Moses, says the game is one of the state's most important sporting events.
Which is really significant for our hotel partners. Yeah, that's worth clapping for. Our hotel partners, our hospitality partners, obviously the airport and other businesses here locally. That's why these events are so important.
He says the Fiesta Bowl and orbiting activities pull in around $200 million every year for the Valley. The winner of this year's bowl advances to the national championship game. The Verbal Fiesta Bowl parade kicks off tomorrow, and this year's Grand Marshal is WWE's Nikki Bella. She tells Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos she grew up in Scottsdale.
We moved to Scottsdale right before third grade, and I did third grade to high school. So I am like full-on Zonies, Sequoia, Cocopa, Chaparral Firebirds. Yeah, the soccer team. We won all the states.
Man.
You know, Saguaro who was that? Arcadia who?
The parade starts at 10 a.m. at Central and Montebello, just south of Bethany Home Road. The Federal Aviation Administration has confirmed a helicopter crash in Superior late this morning. The agency tells KTAR News the MD-369FF crashed at around 11 a.m. We're told there were 4 people on board. We're waiting for more details on the crash and any injuries. The National Transportation Safety Board will lead the investigation into what happened. Phoenix firefighters rescued an injured hiker on South Mountain's Mormon Trail this afternoon. We're told the man fell and hit his head. He was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Another mountain rescue at North Mountain around 3:30. An adult woman was unable to hike down the trail by herself. The police helicopter lifted her off the mountain and flew her to safety, where she was taken to a hospital, again in stable condition. Police in Glendale are trying to figure out what led up to a deadly early morning crash. It happened at around 2:30 in the area of 59th Avenue and Keim, ultimately striking a restaurant patio. Officers say 5 people in one of the vehicles were taken to the hospital. A person who died was walking in the area at the time of the collision. Investigators say speed and impairment appear to have been factors in what happened. President Trump has a new warning for leaders in Iran amid nationwide economic protests.
They're the largest protests in Iran in years, sparked by a sharp decline in the Iranian currency. The rial is now trading at a record low against the dollar. Inflation in Iran is now at 40%. Many shopkeepers have closed their doors to join demonstrations. President Trump says if Iran violently kills peaceful protesters, the United States of America will come to their rescue. His post pledges the U.S. is locked and loaded and ready to go.
That's ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
Highlight on housing.
Arizona home prices went up about 2% last year, compared with 10% jumps in years past. Founder of international real estate company Immobilium, Sasha Paparek, says he expects interest rates to come down and inventory to increase in 2026, which will help with affordability. The Bureau of Land Management will have 3 adoption events this month as part of a Wild Horse and Burro Awareness Week.
If you are 18 years old and have approved facilities, you can bid on a donkey or horse at any of the BLM adoption events. Starting prices for untrained animals start at $125, while trained burros start at $500 and trained horses will begin at $1,000. BLM staff will load each animal into a BLM-approved trailer provided by the adopter. All animals have been vaccinated, dewormed, examined by a veterinarian, and have a current negative Coggins test. For more information, go to KTAR.com. Jania McFarland, KTAR News.
Now for a check on traffic from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center, here's Enrique Garcia.
Thank you, Melody. Phoenix with a medical emergency on the I-17 northbound near Northern Avenue. Glendale disabled vehicle blocking the HOV lane. Loop 101, Agua Fria, eastbound near 67th Avenue. And Mesa with the crash on the right-hand shoulder, US 60 Superstition Freeway, westbound near Power Road. This report is brought to you by Beatitudes. Notice changes in your loved ones or think they need more friends and activity? Visit beatitudescampus.org and see how special this community is. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News.
Cloudy tonight with a low of 52. Sunny this weekend with highs both Saturday and Sunday of 73. Right now, it's 70 degrees in Tempe. I'm Melody Burkett on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Outspoken.
Whose stupid idea was this anyway?
Speaking up for Arizona.
If you think you can get away with that in my state, you've got another thing coming.
Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. KTAR News 92.3 and the KTAR News app.
All right, welcome back. Barry Marks and Patricia Valencia taking you up till 7 o'clock today. It's January 2nd, 2026. Holy moly.
The first Friday.
The first Friday. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We do have a stream team coming up at 6:15. You don't want to miss that as well.
Ooh, my first stream team. I'm excited about that.
All right. All right, so we have a lot going on. There's a lot going on here. We talked earlier about Jack Smith's testimony. He was the special prosecutor in 2 of the Trump cases dealing with January 6th and the fake electors and also the Mar-a-Lago documents. He just testified in a deposition, and they just released that. They released it on New Year's Eve, which is always interesting. It was a huge dump, obviously.
Did confetti come out of it, too?
It's the Republican House that is doing this investigation and called him as a witness. He said, I'll testify publicly. Let's put this out there. And they don't want that. And now he testified, and what came out was very damaging to President Trump. It really laid out the actual evidence that Trump, and he says it's without a question to him, that the evidence is so clear beyond a reasonable doubt that President Trump had a scheme in place to stay in office despite losing the 2020 election, and that he had a whole bunch of people, including the fake electors in Arizona, working towards that. So very interesting, and we'll have more on that coming up later in the show. But also from the administration right now, Patricia, is really 2 things. One, following what's going on in Minnesota, which people are saying is massive fraud dealing with child care. President Trump, the administration initially said we're going to stop all payments to Minnesota while we investigate that, and then came out more recently and said we're stopping all payments nationwide
everywhere
dealing with child care subsidies to help people have their kids in preschool or in daycare or somewhere.
Which is nerve-wracking if they're going to stop it everywhere.
Right. And think about this. So this is federal money. It's not all the money, but it's federal money that helps make this somewhat affordable for people who have young children who they need to work, they need somewhere to have their kids, either they're preschool or they're in after school. And Patricia, they're just stopping it. And I don't know what that does to the child care folks who have child care right now. I mean, look, you're a mom, you have young kids. I mean, what happens if your kids are in child care and you were able to do that because there's some subsidy from the government?
I was going to say, child care is already super expensive.
Super expensive.
So
and what happens then? What do you do if you can't afford it now?
What I don't get is why don't they freeze, one state at a time, like while I was doing this investigation or I don't know.
Just because there's fraud in Minnesota doesn't mean there's fraud in it. Yeah, it doesn't mean there's fraud in Arizona. We don't know. There's probably fraud everywhere, right? But But is it blatant fraud? Is it huge fraud? We have to deal with that. So we're keeping a pulse on that as well.
It's like we have one bad apple and they're just cutting everybody off.
That's right. And now it's moving on, January 2026, and it's the Obamacare, the ACA healthcare subsidies have expired. And you have somewhere around 24 million Americans who were getting this subsidy helping them pay for their own health insurance. And it's important I think people don't really understand this. This is not Medicaid. This is not free insurance or free health care coverage.
This is insurance you enrolled for. And
you're paying for. You're buying your own insurance. So this is for people who, you work here at KTAR. The station provides insurance for its employees, although the employees have to pay for a big part of that.
When Obamacare was big, I remember my stepdad used to work, or ex-stepdad, used to work in healthcare, and he was always about, like, you should enroll in this. This is great. It's going to be great.
It was great, yeah.
It was great back then.
Yeah.
It was the thing.
But if your employer provides it,
right,
and
I didn't have that back then.
Right. That's great, right? You want to be have a job that they provide it. That's wonderful. But for an awful lot of Americans, that's not the case. Whether it's because we're small business owners, or you work, you're farmers,
it's not the best situation,
or you work at a business that doesn't provide insurance, or they won't give you enough hours to get insurance, whatever it may be. That's tens of millions of Americans are in that situation. But here's what I always want to point out to people: what we're talking about now is not Obamacare; it's a subsidy that started during COVID, during the pandemic. Republicans and Democrats, when we were throwing money at people, giving them all this money, that for most people they were still working. Right? Do you remember that in 2020 and with all they were people who kept their jobs were getting checks from the government thousands of dollars for it's like free money. Everyone's like, this is fantastic.
I do remember
I have my job. I'm still getting paid. I'm working. And the government's sending me checks. Yeah. So they did that with these subsidies, too. They said, we're going to make it easier to make sure more and more people can get health care. Because with COVID, they wanted to have more people having health care. So the insurance companies would pay bills associated with COVID care. Okay, right. I get it.
I mean, it was a big deal then.
And then the Democrats, after that expired, the Democrats extended it beyond COVID now. They extended it because people get used to the government paying for stuff, right? When you start to offer any kind of a government program, Social Security, Medicare, whatever it is, the government starts paying for something. To make it stop,
it gets real comfortable.
It's hard to make it stop because now people are like, what do you mean you're taking away that? I deserve that. I earned that, whatever it may be. So now here we are. It expired at the end of 2025, these extra subsidies. And sure enough, people are like, wait a minute. If you get rid of this subsidy, I can't afford.
What am I going to do?
Yeah, because the price of my insurance is going up, on average, is going up 114%. So for most people, the monthly premium they pay for their insurance.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's going to more than double. For many people, it's thousands and thousands more dollars a year. And a lot of people are saying, I can't do it. I just don't have the money.
Right, who can?
Yeah. So what you're going to have is millions and millions of Americans who are right now have stopped having health insurance. They no longer. We've gone backwards. We've gone back to where we put all these new people who are uninsured. We found a way to have them have insurance, and we're taking that away. But I'm going to take the other side of it for just a second.
Okay.
Because it's easy to look at this and say, well, yeah, we should do the subsidies. We should pay for that. But when the government pays for it, that's us. That's you and me. It's taxpayers are paying for that. So why are those people getting these giant subsidies? You don't get a giant subsidy. Part of your pay here at KTAR is your health insurance. If the government subsidized your health insurance,
then it might be fair.
Well, and you'd be making more. Well, KTAR could pay you more,
right?
Because they wouldn't be paying these giant health insurance bills. I mean, I will tell you, I'm an attorney. I've been a partner in law firms. It was one of the most eye-opening things for me when I became a partner in a law firm, when you're an owner of the firm. And I would see our annual renewal of our health insurance benefits for the whole, for the employer, for everybody, for all of us. It was huge. It would go up 20%, 25% a year, year to year. And we're sitting there, we have a certain amount of money comes in. We give people raises. We want to make more money too, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, if we're going to keep providing this insurance for the employees at the same level, the same coverage, it's going to cost us $150,000 more a year. Where does that come from?
And, it seems like everything's going great right now. It seems like such a long time ago that the government was shut down, but why are we going to shut down again?
Yeah. And it's
here.
That's
January.
That's right.
New year, new shutdown. I don't know.
They might use it again. So it's a hard question. I think it's a reasonable discussion for politicians to have and to figure out what the balance is and who should get the subsidies and who shouldn't. I'm not saying this is just renew the subsidies and give it to them. The problem with our politicians now on both sides is they don't want to discuss it. They want the issue. They'd rather yell about the other side than fix the problem, or
Isn't
at least
that what
work on it.
politics is all about, Barry?
It's supposed to be about governing and finding solutions and compromise.
In a perfect world.
Well, that's how it wasn't that long ago. I'm older than you. It wasn't that long ago. That's how this used to work. We used to say, hey,
let's work together.
Yeah, I've got an idea. You have an idea. But neither one of us is going to agree to the other. Let's talk and find a compromise.
Put it together.
I wish we could do that again. So I'm hoping politicians do that because it is a real problem. And the cost of healthcare in this country is a major
new resolution for
thing.
government this year.
That would be exciting. All right. For those of you working in offices but you work from home, is your business trying to get you to come back in the offices? Apparently, a lot
are.
A lot of them are doing it now. And they're doing it in subtle ways. They're not necessarily ordering you back because they know some people will leave. They're doing
Giving incentives, maybe?
They're doing kind of secret ways to try to get you to recognize being in the office is a good thing. We'll tell you more about that in a minute. That's Patricia Valencia. I'm Barry Markson. It's Outspoken on KTAR.
The price of gold has hit an all-time high, and your old gold jewelry is likely worth a lot more than you think. So what do? Oliver Smith Jeweler. That's what you do. Whether you've got some pieces you just don't wear anymore or maybe something you inherited, now is the time to get a quote. Bring that jewelry to Oliver Smith Jewelers. They've been buying jewelry from clients here in the Valley for over 40 years. And it's a simple process. You sit down, you meet with one of their buyers. They give you a fair and transparent evaluation. There's no obligation. You can either take a check that day or maybe trade it in for a watch or some jewelry you might actually wear. All right? That's Oliver Smith Jeweler. 2 easy locations are inside the Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall or Scottsdale Gainey Ranch, the flagship store. Plus, always online. Check them out. OliverSmithJeweler.com. Give them a call and get started or head online to OliverSmithJeweler.com.
KTAR News Flash.
It's 4:40. It's rather 5:15. I'm Melody Burkett, and this is what you need to know right now. Flu activity has been surging in many parts of the U.S. Doctors say holiday gatherings are adding to the numbers, and a new strain of flu is also circulating rapidly.
You can expect for flu symptoms after exposure to start within 1 to 4 days, but for most it's about day 2. So that 48 hours is where you want to prepare. You want to grab a rapid flu test at your local CVS, Walgreens, your local pharmacy, and then talk to your provider about medications if you are higher risk, if you're over the age of 65, if you're pregnant, if you have children under the age of 5, or if you have an immune-compromising condition.
That's ABC News medical contributor Dr. Darian Sutton. All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app. And now for a check on traffic, here's Enrique Garcia, live from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Melody. Phoenix with a medical emergency on the I-17 northbound near Northern Avenue. A look into our surface streets, Peoria, with a crash involving a bicyclist on 99th Avenue and Peoria Avenue, Glendale with a crash on 67th Avenue and Camelback Road. This report is brought to you by Mountainside Fitness. 35 years, 25 locations. Join Mountainside Fitness with $0 enrollment and 30 days free at mountainsidefitness.com. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News. Now back with Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos.
All right, welcome back. It's Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. Patricia Valencia, Barry Markson sitting in on this beautiful Friday, the first Friday here in 2026. Special thanks to our listeners out in Maryvale. Thanks for being here.
It is beautiful out there.
As Bruce would say, Maryvalians.
Maryvalians? Is that what they're called?
I don't know. Bruce always says something like that. Maryvalians. Thank you for listening out in Maryvale to KTAR. All right, this is something I'm seeing more and more here in the Valley with employers wanting to get their employees back in the office.
Yes, I've seen a lot of people that I know personally that are now going back to work.
Yes, and it's been a long time now since COVID. A lot of people said that this was going to be a change that would never go back, that people be working from home forever. We've seen a lot of office buildings empty out and people get rid of offices. I know law firms that got rid of their office. They have one little room, they have one little office where they can get mail and things, but they don't have.
I've seen a lot of companies that are, working remotely and people are working in other states and other cities.
Yeah, that's
big now.
It's happening
because
for
of
sure.
COVID.
But I think a lot of companies are recognizing that they're losing a lot by not having everybody in the office. They're losing not just a collegiality of getting to know each other, but also that there's a real benefit in productivity and knowledge.
I was going to say efficiency.
Of people being in the office together. And I will tell you, as a young,
Just like here, it'd be hard if somebody was working from home and they were trying to maybe produce the show, and
that'd
we'd
be
have to be
hard.
communicating with them throughout, with emails and whatnot. But yeah.
But I'll tell you also, I worry about younger people in almost any field. I think they're losing out on being around more experienced people and just learning. I call it through osmosis, just being in the room, being around them, learning things without even realizing you're learning them.
Right.
And I always talk about this. When I was a very young attorney, I was obviously in the office. Everybody was in the office then. I appreciate you not making a joke about how we wrote things on tablets with little hammers. But it was.
Do you have an abacus?
There you go. But we would. I learned things just being there. I mean, I was working and doing things and just trying to keep my head above water. But I always remember this. I always tell the story that when I was a second or third year attorney, a young attorney, a 1 year, first year attorney came into my office and asked me a question, and I answered the question, and she left, and I sat there for a minute, and I said, "How did I know that? I have never done that. I've never had to do that in a case. How did I know the answer to that question?" And I knew it because I had been around other
Just the
attorneys.
experience.
I had heard about it. Right. And if I had been working from home, I would never have learned that. So I think businesses and professions, I think we're all we're going to be missing this for this whole generation of young people.
Just think about it with schools that went through COVID. All those kids, all those young kids that started school having to be remote.
My son did that. My son was in
first
college.
Grade. No,
in
like
first
I'm
grade.
talking about kids.
Oh yeah.
My niece was, I don't even remember what, but I was like, how do you expect these kids to sit there and listen to a screen, the whole time? And that kind of, being around other kids, being there when there's tangible things in the classroom, it's totally different.
It's a big loss.
It makes people's moods and growing up differently. And that's exactly what's happened in the workforce.
Yeah, no, you're totally right about that. So what we're seeing now is businesses, some businesses just said, you're coming back to the office, take it or leave it.
Right.
Some businesses who promised people they would never do that. I remember it was one of the big insurance companies said you can go work remotely. You can go anywhere.
Or be fired.
People left their home where they were working and said, I'm going to go live in another state to help my parents or whatever. And then the new CEO came in and said, everybody back in the office. And the employees are like, well, you promised us. I relied on that. They don't care. You're fired if you don't come back to the office. They've done that. I have a friend of mine worked for Amazon remotely in a good position, and they said, you got to come work in Seattle or something. And he's like, well, I'm not going to do that. And he said, we got to let you go. And it wasn't he had done nothing wrong. They loved him.
It was just part of the plan again.
So now businesses are doing this thing where they're saying, hey, we're not going to order you back in, but we're going to make it kind of clear that if you want to advance, you might want to be here. They're promoting people who are in the office. So they're promoting Amy, I'm making up a name, and she's in the office and she's doing a good job, and they're promoting her and not, Jane and Emily who are working from home.
Well, it makes sense because it's business. If you think about it that way, they're more proficient with people in the office. Then I'm going to hire you and pay you more, or promote you because you actually want to be here and make my business more proficient.
Right.
For me.
So it's not saying you have to be here. We're not ordering you to be here because we don't want to lose people.
But I'm going to give a little bit more.
If you want to advance,
thank you to Joe Schmo for.
Yeah, if you want to have a promotion and you want to move up in the business, you have to be here. And I'll tell you,
I don't think it's a bad thing.
I'm probably selling my wife out, but my wife manages a lot of people, and she tells me and she appreciates people who work from home too. But she tells me, push comes to shove.
I was going to say, if you can do your job remotely, then okay, and it's proficient and you're good, then that's fine. But there's a chance to come back in.
It's true. And the other thing that's changed since COVID is, after COVID, we had a big jump in the economy, right? First, COVID was bad. Unemployment was 10%. There was a problem. And then it started to come back, and there was a big demand for workers. So if you didn't like your company or you wanted to get a raise, you go shop yourself, and you'd have another job in a second.
Now it comes down to the question, do you like your job enough to stay if they told you?
A lot of people say, I'm working from home. If you won't let me work from home, I'm going to find another company
that will let me work from home, probably.
So companies don't want to lose those people necessarily, so they're doing this subtly. They're not ordering you back in, but they're showing you may want to figure out a way to get back in the office if you want to advance. But the other thing we're finding is that companies have more leverage now. For the last several years, employees had the leverage because if the company did something they didn't like, the employees just went somewhere else. There were other jobs available. Now, the job market has kind of frozen a little bit. It's not that unemployment's going up, but it's not bad. It's still low, but the market to move jobs isn't there. It's not like it was a few years ago, and because of that,
there used to be jobs left and right.
And exactly. So employees said 2 years ago, employees said, if you're going to make me come in, I'm literally going to go find another job, and I'll have it in a week. But now that other job isn't there. So companies are trying to make it a little clearer, hey, we want you back in the office. And now employees start looking around, say, well, I can't find another job. I guess I have to go back in the office. I think the best thing is a hybrid. I think the best for, if you have an office job and desk job, make it where you have to be in the office 2 or 3 days a week, but you can be at home another 2 or 3 days a week.
If your job is doable, like we said, remotely, and you can do that a couple days out of the week, I don't see there's anything wrong with that.
Right. But a lot of bosses just want everybody in the office.
Bodies in the building.
That's how it's always been. During COVID, we were in here. Every show was in studio. We were all here.
Yeah, during COVID, I worked through the whole thing, and I worked in radio during COVID too.
Yeah.
I wasn't here, but I went to work every day. I was an essential employee. I don't even know why.
I was an essential employee on multiple levels, and I still don't know why. But even then, like we came back in here. The station said we need everybody here. We're providing a service.
Very grateful for that, by the way.
Yeah, and it was a good opportunity. But you're seeing that now with companies. They're giving incentives. They're making it clear, even subtly. Hey, the best thing for you is to be in the office with us, because that's what's going to be best for your career. They're not saying it; they're just showing you. You want to get promoted like Amy?
It's fair.
Do what Amy does, and that's what they're showing us.
Good job, Amy.
All right. Good job, Amy. All right, this was another thing that surprised me, Patricia. And as a lawyer, I was very surprised by this. There's Fourth Amendment. You have a right against an illegal search and seizure, right? The police can't come in your house and just start searching your house without a warrant. They have to have things to do that. And it's the same thing with your phone. The police can't generally take your phone and just look.
It's an extension of your personal property.
You can't get into my phone, right? Did you know that privacy that you think you have with your phone may not extend if you leave the country and want to in the United States and
with
you want to come with your phone. If you want to leave it, not just your phone, by the way, your computer, your iPad, anything. If you leave the country and come back in, I was surprised by this. We'll tell you about it next. Melody Burkett is here. She's going to give us an update in the KTAR News Center, and then Patricia and I are back with Outspoken. Stay with us, folks. It's KTAR.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today. Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Hi, I'm Stuart Willis, president of Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. Will your investments last throughout retirement? Do you have a retirement strategy to minimize your long-term taxes? If not, tune into Arizona's own Asset Preservation Hour right here on KTAR Sundays at 2 p.m. What should you do about the current economic conditions? Stay informed and stay tuned into the Asset Preservation Hour Sundays at 2 p.m. on KTAR.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor.
Pay tribute to a teacher, presented by Your Valley Toyota dealers. We want to lift up amazing Arizona teachers. So tell us about an outstanding teacher worthy of a $2,500 check by texting teacher to 620-620. Message and data rates may apply.
It's the big Maricopa County Home and Garden Show, January 9th through 11th at the Arizona State Fairgrounds. While there, be sure to visit Window World of Phoenix.
Dave Ramsey here for the Valley's best value in replacement windows, patio doors, and entry doors. My friends at Window World will install 7 large premium vinyl sliding windows, all with Solar Zone Sun Shield glass for one low price of $59.89, tax included. You can pay 3 or 4 times that price at other window companies, or one low upfront price with Window World. No gimmicks and never any zip code pricing. See for yourself why nearly half of all new Window World customers come from happy referrals. Get the details at windowworldphoenix.com. Window World, simply the best for definitely less.
See Window World at the big Maricopa County Home and Garden Show, January 9th through 11th at the Arizona State Fairgrounds. Info at maricopacountyhomeshows.com. This is the big one, so don't miss it.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-961-3044. 800-961-3044. 800-961-3044.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN. 602-837-PAIN.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not-so-wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast, nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho. And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company. Pure Talk.
KTAR News now.
It's 5:30. I'm Melody Burkett. Efforts are underway to reach a crashed helicopter in Pinal County.
The small private helicopter went down in remote mountains east of Phoenix near Superior, Arizona. The FAA says 4 people were on board. Search and rescue teams were able to visually see a chopper had crashed, but they have struggled to get to it because it's in such remote terrain and they don't know the status of those on board. The helicopter took off from a private air park, a type where aircraft can be parked at owners' homes. The FAA and NTSB say they will lead the investigation. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Pima County announces its first measles case since 2019. Pima County Public Health Department Director Dr. Teresa Cullen says an individual tested positive for the disease December 31st after crossing the southern border. Measles symptoms may appear up to 14 days after exposure and include fever, cough, runny nose, red eyes, and a rash. Cullen says the best way to prevent the disease is getting vaccinated. Yesterday's health care subsidies expired, the sticking point that kept the government shut down last year. Political analyst Chuck Todd tells Arizona's Morning News this could be the turning point for many voters.
Public perceives Democrats as soft on the border, while the public perceives the Republicans as basically weak on health care, and that's already baked in. And so then they have this. I think it's a huge political hit.
The funding deal that reopened the government in November runs out of money at the end of the month. The investigation is still in the early stages, but celebratory sparklers, usually put on top-shelf drink orders, may have been a contributing factor in the deadly nightclub fire in Switzerland. More from ABC's Tom Sophie Burridge in Switzerland.
There is a lot of evidence and eyewitness accounts that point towards these big sparklers that were being brought out with orders of champagne. Many eyewitness accounts, including one lady we spoke to, say that they were being held very close to the ceiling, but Swiss authorities stressing that their investigation is still to be carried out. It's at an early stage.
40 people died and dozens were injured in the New Year's Eve fire.
Eyes on education.
Arizona State University is breaking barriers, reaching more than $1 billion in research funding.
This places ASU among the top 4% of U.S. research institutions at number 37 overall and number 21 among public colleges. Some research projects ASU conducted this year is an AI tool that can detect how people respond to cancer treatments, a new kind of fishing net that helps identify protected or endangered species, and a chip for satellite communications in space that would improve our resources in Earth's orbit. Shira Tanzer, KTAR News.
And now for a check on traffic from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center, here's Enrique Garcia.
Thank you, Melody. Mesa with a crash on the right-hand shoulder, US 60 Superstition Freeway, westbound near Power Road. A look into our surface streets. Buckeye with a crash involving a fire as well on Durango Street and Watson Road. Phoenix with a crash involving a bicyclist on 1st Street and Jackson Street, and Phoenix again with a crash on 40th Street and Van Buren. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News.
Mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 52. A beautiful weekend on tap with highs both days 73 degrees with sunny skies. Right now it's 70 degrees in Phoenix. I'm Melody Burkett on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos.
All right, welcome back. Patricia Valencia, Barry Markson with you here on Outspoken. Thanks for joining us here on KTAR. And this is there's something else I can't believe is actually happening. I was legitimately surprised to learn this, and I say that as a lawyer who I guess should know better. Did you know that when first of all, and this is how I first read about this, is that when people are coming into the country, and this is foreigners who are coming here on either a visa or on vacation or anything else, that they're subject to the customs people looking at their phone. And I'm saying, like, getting into their phone, like you have to give them access and they have to look at your phone.
Wow.
And I initially read this in the context of people were coming here and they would look in your phone and see that you had written negative social media things about President Trump. Now, these are non-citizens of the United States, but they would see you wrote something negative about President Trump, and then they would say, sorry, you can't come into the country. They make you get on another plane.
I think it was like a security threat?
And fly back. No, because none of these people were security threats. Some are like relatively well-known people in their country, former politicians. These are not security threats. They were just saying something about they didn't like Trump's policies or something else. Not a threat, not a physical threat, not a death threat, nothing like that. And so I was reading about that saying, well, that's kind of ridiculous, right? I mean, if a politician, you have to be a little tougher skinned, but they weren't letting those people in.
That would be if you went somewhere and said something about a leader, let's say in Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, and you said something about her, they would take your phone away.
Right. That's a great example. So if I wrote something on Twitter about Claudia Sheinbaum that I didn't like some of her policies, or I thought she was a bad leader or whatever, and then I'd go across the border trying to go to Rocky Point, and they stop me and look at my phone and say, sorry, and they just turn me back around, I'd be like, what?
Is this a new thing that's just started?
Yes. They've been able to look for a while, but yes, this part where they're sending you back based on what you said on social media
I
is
could
new.
see them maybe looking through phones of, once again, people that are criminals or people that are doing things wrong,
or certainly
going through customs. It could get normal thing. Go through your phone.
I mean, frankly, you could do that check. These people have tickets. They're flying in. You know who's coming. You could do that check ahead of time.
Warrants and stuff like that. Yeah.
So it went from that, from people who are visiting the United States, not U.S. citizens, to learning that even U.S. citizens, the Custom and Border people have the right to ask you to open your phone, unlock your phone with Face ID or your code, and let them go through the phone. And you have to do it. Now, if you say no, they will keep your phone, and they will try to get a warrant to get into it, do other things. But
as a lawyer, is this legal?
I would say no.
What would you push back on this? What is it against your?
It's a Fourth Amendment. It's a right to you have a right against an illegal search and seizure. So it's your property, it's your phone. They don't have a right to go in there. Is this kind of
like the same thing? It's like a vehicle. It's an extension of your property or extension of your home.
Right. So if I get pulled over by a police officer, he doesn't just get to search my car. If he's pulling me over because I'm speeding, he can give me a ticket for speeding. He doesn't get a right to go into my car.
Correct.
If he sees something dangerous in the car, or if he sees, if I have a bag of drugs sitting on the thing, then he has the right to get into my car. They have to have probable cause. There's all sorts of things here. This is different. So when I was seeing this to me is very scary. And it's not just your phone. They have the right for your other electronic devices, your laptops, your iPads, anything. It's an exception under the Fourth Amendment where they can do this. And apparently the Customs and Border Patrol people have conducted over 55,000 searches at ports and places where you enter the country in 2025. It's a huge increase from what was happening before. And they're doing it to U.S. citizens, too. Now, it's much less for U.S. citizens. It's more for other people. But non-citizen searches have increased substantially. But those belonging to U.S. citizens have risen by 25% over the last few years. That's a big increase. So if you're a U.S.
I would definitely be surprised if I was flying somewhere
Yeah.
and they were like, "Can we check your phone?"
Right.
Sir, there's some photos in there you should not see. First of all,
it's crazy, and that's what look. They say they're looking for evidence of that you're trafficking drugs.
I would think like
or
terrorism or something like that. Yes,
real
that's
national security threats.
Legitimate reason.
But again, you have to have probable cause. Generally, you can't just pick a guy and say, "Let me look at your phone," and then see what's on there. So it becomes, for me, it's a very slippery slope. And as anyone who's a constitutionalist, someone who believes in these kind of rights that we have, we should all be offended by this as citizens. If you want to do this to a non-citizen, you don't have a right to come to the United States.
If I went to a different country, for instance, and they asked to search my phone, I would be offended.
Yeah. But
off the bat.
But again, if I'm not a citizen of that country, you're kind of at their whim, right? So if you're a non-citizen visiting the United States, okay. I mean, should they bar you because you said something bad about the sitting president? I think that's a little bad. I don't like that, but okay, that's the policy. But as a U.S. citizen, checking my phone when I come back to my country, that bothers me, and I think that should bother.
That's just like
a lot of
when
people.
People say the FBI is watching your phone.
Yeah,
like that's just.
Well, they're watching us in all sorts of ways, and
they're watching us now on YouTube.
It's interesting you said it that way, Patricia. Yeah, you can watch us on YouTube. That's true. But it's interesting you said that because there's been cases lately. There was a case out of Pennsylvania, and the Supreme Court there just recently said that you don't have a right of privacy on your phone. Now that's not a U.S. case, not a federal case, but they're saying that because we all know that Google. And this is more of a Google search thing, that we all know that Google takes what we do and they track it.
Exactly. I was going to say it probably has an internet thing to do because everybody's phone is tied to the internet now.
Right. But that you don't have a right of privacy to what you type into Google to search, which is interesting. But in addition to this, more Trump immigration laws are coming into effect. It's because it's 2026. Some of these new laws have gone into effect since yesterday.
Right. Yesterday was January 1st, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, now limited travel from places like Nigeria, Sierra Leone, South Sudan, Syria, those all restrictions have went into effect yesterday. And then also the DHS paused immigration applications from they expanded from travel restrictions took place. So 20 more countries got added to that list.
So now they're not taking immigration applications from 20 additional countries.
20 additional countries.
And these are countries.
Some of them are a lot of countries in Africa.
Yeah.
Angola, Nigeria, like I said, Senegal, Tanzania, Zimbabwe. The list went from 19 to 39.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we can talk about this, and this I think these
Nobody's
are interesting.
Going to travel anymore at all.
These are interesting policy decisions, right? You're basically saying to these other countries that we are viewing this as a national security threat. That there are people coming from your country, not everybody, not even the majority, but that there are people coming from your country who are terrorists and who we don't want to let them into the United States. We're going to stop them before they get here. Which you can make the argument that makes sense, right? But you're also missing out on a lot of good people. You're missing out on a lot of folks from other countries that want to come here as students or maybe just want to come to visit or just visit the United States.
Or want to come to be a United States citizen and want to make it better,
right.
Make our economy better.
Exactly. So it's a tough thing, for a country that's been so open with legal immigration. And we can have a different discussion about illegal immigration.
But imagine being on the other side, how hard it is to weed out people that are not good for America. Like, I don't know, that must be a hard job too.
It's an incredibly hard job, but I will say, is it better to have that policy on a case-by-case individual basis as opposed to the blanket?
Right? Exactly. And that's where we're trying to, put the blanket on now, and how are we going to do it pulling back? And I don't know. It's a sticky situation.
That's Patricia Valencia. I'm Barry Marks, and we're in for Gatos, Bruce and Gatos today on Outspoken. Coming up, it's been a tough start to 2026 already. We'll bring you up to date on what happened in Switzerland. If you haven't heard about this, my goodness, that was sad. And also some local things that happened, including a home burglary and some other issues that the police have been dealing with right here in our own backyard in the Valley. And also a reminder about Shannon's Law. We'll tell you what that is when we get back. In just a moment, update coming up from the news, and then more of the big show. It's Outspoken on KTAR.
It's Gatos for Southwest Blinds and Shutters. Custom window treatments instantly upgrade how your home looks and feels. We're talking motorized blinds, shutters, and shades, roller shades, and Roman shades. Southwest Blinds and Shutters, they've got it all. Do what my wife and I did. Visit one of their 3 Valley locations. They've got amazing showrooms. Visit southwestblinds.com, and guess what? You can book an hour in-home consultation. They'll come to your house and measure all the windows. They'll bring several blinds, shutters, and shades, put them right up to those windows, and you see what you like. I'm a big fan of the motorized shades. Maybe you're tired of cords that can quickly become a major eyesore and a hassle to untangle. Well, you can control your motorized shades, blinds, or shutters right from your phone. At Southwest Blinds and Shutters, they've been installing luxury window shading solutions in Arizona since 2002. Free 1-hour consultation when you mention Gatos. Just go to southwestblinds.com, southwestblinds.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
There are only about 4,300 publicly traded companies on the U.S. stock exchange. But there are an estimated 33 million companies in the U.S. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. The average investor is missing out on over 99% of the investment opportunity that's happening in this beautiful country until now. True portfolio strength is found beyond the confines of the S&P 500, investing in promising companies before they go public. Private real estate, infrastructure, world-changing technologies. This is called the endowment model. The endowment model has historically outperformed the traditional model of just stocks and bonds. If you're an accredited investor and want more from your investments, it's time to think beyond just stocks and bonds. Call Trajan today. 480-990-3300. That's 480-990-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
Arizona businesses need more skilled workers, and our students are the solution. At the Pima Joint Technical Education District, we build the talent Arizona businesses rely on. With cutting-edge programs in health and technology and hands-on career training, our 30,000 students will graduate ready for high-demand careers. JTED builds the future of Arizona's workforce. Learn how our students will bring excellence to your business at pimajted.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
KTAR News Flash.
At 5:45, I'm Melody Burkett, and this is what you need to know right now. Holiday debt hangover? If you spent too much money during the holidays, you can quickly get your budget back on track.
Put a spending freeze in place. Start with 1 week. Start with today. 1 week where you spend $0 on anything that's non-essential. So you got to buy groceries, you got to buy gas, but anything outside of that, you simply stop spending money.
That's credit repair specialist Paul Oster talking to ABC News. All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app. And now for a check on traffic, here's Enrique Garcia, live from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Melody. Phoenix with a crash blocking the right-hand lane. Loop 101 Agua Fria, westbound near 19th Avenue. Mesa with a crash on the right-hand shoulder. US 60 Superstition Freeway, westbound near Power Road. A quick look into our surface streets. Scottsdale with a crash on Hayden Road and Roosevelt Street. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News.
It's Gatos, and guys, if you have low T, it's time to get your edge back. Start testosterone therapy at Red Mountain Weight Loss and get a month of GLP-1 weight loss medication absolutely free when you mention Gatos. That's a $299 value. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone restores your get up and go, so you feel like you're 20 again. Gain more muscle with less effort at the gym. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Actual. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. It's a game changer. And if you're looking to lose weight, there's nothing like the combo of testosterone and a GLP-1 medication. It'll burn that belly fat, get you solid and ripped. This month, get free GLP-1 medication, a $299 value, when you start testosterone therapy only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment today. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone, keyword Red Mountain. Time to get your edge back at Red Mountain Weight Loss.
For 35 years, Mountainside Fitness has helped keep the Valley healthy with 25 locations and counting. Join today and get $0 enrollment plus your first 30 days free. Your membership includes full-service locker rooms, free towel service, 70-plus fitness classes weekly, wellness amenities, interactive childcare, and top-of-the-line cardio and strength equipment. MountainsideFitness.com. Lift local with Mountainside Fitness.
Rosie on the house. Saturday mornings means it's time for Rosie on the house, an Arizona tradition since 1988. Starting at 8, it's 3 hours of information packed about your Arizona home. Whatever it is you're trying to do around your house, home, castle, or cabin, we've probably tried to do it before, and we can help you do it and do it Rosie right. Right here, Rosie on the house.
Saturday mornings, 8 to 11 on 92.3 KTAR.
Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Outspoken. That's Patricia Valencia. I'm Barry Markson, sitting in here for Bruce and Gatos. The boys back on Monday.
I can't believe it's already going to be January 5th on Monday.
It is. It's moving. It's almost like it's like March on Monday. It's moving so fast.
Don't even say that. What? It's July.
It's moving so fast. And, of course, Patricia, you can hear Patricia with Mike Broomhead in the mornings, 8 till noon right here on KTAR.
Yeah, well, I'll be back to normal on Monday.
That's right.
We kind of juggled here.
That's right. We shuffled everybody around a little bit. Well,
how was your New Year?
Having a good time. We had a nice New Year. You know, we for years we always had a party at our house, but it was small. We would just invite some neighbors, and I always used to say it's you can't come if you can't stumble home. There was no driving.
That's a good rule.
You had to be able to walk home. That was it. And we'd be out late. We'd have we were younger. We had a lot of fun, and then we started inviting some other people over. And we did parties almost every year. And this year was like, all right, our friends said they wanted to do a party. We're like, okay, we're out of the party business. We're fine. And so we went over there, and we had a very nice time, good food. We had a little bit to drink. And then at 10 o'clock, we celebrated New Year's Eve in New York. And then my friend said, get out.
That's like the thing now to do is to celebrate.
It is. It seems so
early.
Lame to me. Like you're celebrating. Like, how old am I right now?
It's not lame. It isn't.
Oh,
I don't think it is.
It is lame. It's okay. But it's okay. But it's the people like that, man. They just jump out of there after 10.
I mean, it literally is the thing to do. You want to get home early. You want to get home before traffic. You want to get home before all the crazies are really out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's understandable, but it was a crazy year. There was a couple in Queen Creek that thought it would be fun to go out for New Year's.
Yeah.
And they got their house ransacked.
Yeah, burglarized.
And there was a burglary. Yeah, they didn't really say what they took, but now they're offering a $10,000 reward.
So what was taken?
Home.
What do you think was taken?
I don't know. I think it had to have been money.
Like a money or a nice watch?
How do you have $10,000 just like that to throw around as a reward?
You could have a nice watch, some watches or something, or jewelry. Maybe they had some old jewelry from somebody who knows.
Well, in the report, we got this here from Fox 10. In the report, they said that they got away, even though, laptops, jewelry, and expensive items were left behind.
Really?
They really just ransacked their home.
So they're offering.
They smashed glass doors.
So they're offering,
and ransacked a closet.
They're offering $10,000 just because they're mad.
I guess so.
Wow.
Well, there had also been reports of break-ins like around the neighborhood.
Is that right?
There's something going on. And they want it to stop.
It's the worst, even if you didn't lose anything, but it's just a mess in their lives. But I tell you, it's like a feeling of violation, right? That's the worst.
Can you imagine?
Feeling.
That's what they say. Somebody was in your home.
Yeah.
Somebody knows you weren't home.
Yeah.
Like to go that far.
It's awful. It's
that is not good.
And I'll tell you, and I don't know how they feel, but I'm like I want like full retribution, and I'm not like eye for an eye. It's like I want to kill you. Like it's a
right. No, you went through my stuff. That's a violation.
We were in London over the summer, and someone stole my phone out of my hand, which is a major problem in London.
Oh my gosh, how did that go?
Yeah, it was not good.
Were you just like hanging out, being a tourist, and they just ran by?
Yep, I was walking on a sidewalk. I was on my phone, holding my phone on my ear.
I would have died.
And a guy came up on an electric bike and on the sidewalk and just rode by, grabbed my phone, and he's like,
what did you do?
Behind me, I cursed at him, and he ran off. I mean, he was on an electric bike. He was 30 feet in front of me in 1 second.
Oh my
If there was a way I could have gotten to that guy, I would have dragged him behind that bike. I mean, I was so mad. And it's just a phone, you know what I mean? I dealt with it.
But still, yeah.
It's a feeling of violation. It's an awful
That makes me mad.
Yeah. It was bad. It's a huge problem in London.
That's so weird.
If you go to London, hang on to your phone. We noticed it after the fact that people in London had phone cases with wristlets. Yeah.
That way they can hold on to them.
Yep. So
Makes sense.
You got to be careful.
Yeah.
What else happened on New Year's Eve?
The FBI foiled another potential terrorist attack.
Well, that's a good thing.
On New Year's Eve. Yeah, this one was a suspect, an 18-year-old from North Carolina, was inspired by the Islamic State group and planned an attack on people at a store and restaurant with hammers and knives.
Really?
Yeah.
Hammers and knives?
Yeah, and apparently it was very well thought out. There was, a manifesto and maps and everything.
Jeez.
I know. So crazy.
Well, that was in North Carolina?
Yes. I'm so glad that they are able to catch these people before these things go down.
It's amazing what the FBI can do and our intelligence people with what they can see before it happens. That's
and then also out in El Mirage, some people getting arrested for Shannon's Law. If you forgot about Shannon's Law, explain what it is, Barry.
Yeah, this is a law. It was a 14-year-old girl named Shannon. I forgot her last name now, but in the late 1990s, she was killed by a stray bullet. Just people firing guns.
Shannon Smith.
Just people firing guns in the air to celebrate. I'm putting my little quote fingers up to celebrate New Year's Eve or one of these holidays, and she was hit by a stray bullet. Nobody was shooting at her. It was just an inadvertent thing, but she died.
Do people not shooting guns don't think that what goes up must come down?
It's awful, and I'll tell you,
probably even faster.
So this law was it was passed in 1999, and I was thinking about it. She'd be 30 years old this year.
My gosh.
And she's lost her entire life, lost her teenage years, lost her entire life, everything. And so the legislature passed this law. We call it Shannon's Law, that it's illegal to do that. And despite that law, Patricia, there's still people who do it. They still shoot guns in the air, and they don't think anything of it. They're not trying to hurt anybody, but it's a bullet.
It's reckless.
Yes,
is what it is.
The bullet goes somewhere.
Well, when they did, so the El Mirage police say their gunshot detection system alerted officers that shots were fired in the area. Which, first of all, they have gunshot detection systems nowadays. The police went, next door. They got a search warrant and whatnot. But they arrested 2 people in this, so
Good.
I'm glad that they did.
I'm glad they did too. That's just, what? Find another way to celebrate. It's come on, it's not worth the risk. Why? And again, they're not trying to hurt anybody, but it's by accident. But someone's life gets taken away. It's awful. All right, on the way back, we're going to talk about we're going to have the news update for you here, and then we're going to talk about Jack Smith's testimony. You remember the special prosecutor in the January 6th case? He testified before Congress a couple weeks ago, and his testimony has been released now. And I will tell you, it is eye-opening. So we'll have that for you when we get back. She's Patricia Valencia. I'm Barry Markson, in for Bruce and Gatos. It's Outspoken. Stay with us, folks. Hour number 3 is coming up. Patricia, some people say that's the best hour. Right here on KTAR.
Such a blow to investors. Whether you're a big trader or whether you have a 401k.
Life can be complicated. Planning for retirement doesn't have to be.
So what we're looking at here is a plan and a strategy that guarantees the retirement income, but it doesn't give up that growth for safety.
Learn tips and tricks to help you move forward.
That's not always debt. And when you have the money to pay it off, it's called leveraging.
Tune in to The Parker Holland Show, Saturdays at 3 p.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. right here on KTAR News.
Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract. After 150,000 procedures, our team has the experience to tell you if it's your right time for K2 Vision RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consult now at k2visionrle.com and enjoy life with no readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Every strawberry, every apple, every beet bunch at Natural Grocers is 100% organic. Natural Grocers is unwavering in their commitment to organic products. While other stores might tease you with organic sections that are mixed with conventional produce, when you shop at Natural Grocers, there's no guesswork and no possibility of cross-contamination from synthetic pesticides. Discover our always affordable, truly organic produce today. Find your store at naturalgrocers.com.
Get in the zone, auto
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets the Duralast battery.
have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a ballerina.
Because dancing makes me happy. I get to entertain people, and nothing makes me feel more like me.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Olivia a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a great team to put on a show. It also takes a great team of caring people to keep a dream alive. And now my dreams are coming true.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
Pima JTED doesn't just work for students, it works for all of Arizona. Hands-on training, real-world skills, high school students become job-ready, and Arizona businesses get the talent they need to thrive. Without a skilled workforce, Arizona can't grow. But with Pima JTED graduates, our entire economy prospers. Join the businesses already investing in Arizona's future. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
At a time when children are in crisis, the Kids Mental Health Foundation envisions a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up. And support starts with all of us. At home, at school, at practice, everywhere kids are. The Kids Mental Health Foundation is the leading organization promoting mental health for children in the U.S. and has free tools and information developed by experts.
Having those resources is the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
Check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Hey, it's Javier Soto. When something's happening in your community, ABC 15 is here to listen, to lift up your voice and get you the answers you deserve. Join me and Faye Fredericks weeknights at 5 and 6 on ABC 15.
KTAR-FM, Glendale, Phoenix, Arizona's news station. KTAR News, 92.3 FM. KTAR News, now.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Melody Burkett. It'll be the Miami Hurricanes versus Ole Miss next week in Glendale for the Fiesta Bowl.
So we've been waiting for almost 4 weeks for these teams to emerge. And emerge they did.
Executive Director of the Arizona Sports Foundation, Eric Moses, made the announcement Friday at Sky Harbor. He says the Fiesta Bowl and orbiting activities pull in around $200 million every year for the Valley.
Every ticket that is purchased, every sponsorship, every donation that comes into our organization really helps to give back to this community and to support this community, and that's at the heart of what we do.
This year's bowl is acting as a semifinal, with the winning team advancing to the national championship game. William Padmore, KTAR News.
Meanwhile, WWE's Nikki Bella returns to the Valley as the Grand Marshal in tomorrow's Verbal Fiesta Bowl parade. She tells the Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos podcast she was so excited when she found out.
My brother was the first call to brag when I found out, and he was like, what? I'm like, I know. Can you believe it? Like, it truly is an honor being a Zony. I mean, the Fiesta Bowl is just so iconic to our state.
The 1.5 mile parade starts at 10 a.m. in Central Phoenix. The Cardinals have one game left in a season that's been riddled with unlucky injuries and unwatchable losses. But does this game really matter? Arizona Sports' Tyler Drake joined Arizona's Morning News to explain why it does.
It does matter for the guys that are looking to potentially
have a roster spot next year, or fighting for a job, or maybe not even with the Cardinals, but another place.
The Cardinals travel to Los Angeles to take on the Rams for the last game of the season. You can catch it on our sister station, Arizona Sports 98.7. We're waiting for more information after the Federal Aviation Administration confirmed a helicopter crash in Superior late this morning. The helicopter, which had 4 people on board, crashed at about 11 a.m. There's no word on casualties right now. The National Transportation Safety Board will lead the investigation into what happened. Phoenix firefighters rescued an injured hiker on South Mountain's Mormon Trail this afternoon. We're told the man fell and hit his head. He was taken to a hospital in stable condition. Another mountain rescue at North Mountain around 3:30. An adult woman was unable to hike down the trail by herself. The police helicopter lifted her off the mountain and flew her to safety, where she was taken to a hospital in stable condition. One man is dead following a double shooting in North Phoenix this afternoon. It happened at around 1:30 in the area of 19th Avenue and Bell Road. Police tell us both victims were taken to the hospital, where one died a short time later. The investigation into what happened is just getting underway. We'll bring you more details as we get them.
Highlight on housing.
As the Arizona housing market continues to stabilize following a few fast-paced years, insurance rates continue to climb.
The insurance is becoming now almost a second interest rate.
Founder of global real estate firm Immobilium, Sasha Poperick, says the biggest obstacle for a buyer in 2026 is insurance rates.
With $5,000 mortgage can end up being $7,000, $8,000 full payment, including the property tax, including the insurance rates.
However, he says buyers will have more power due to less competition and more options. Poperick also expects mortgage rates to drop by the second quarter. Heidi Hommel, KTAR News.
On Wall Street today, the Dow closed up 319 points to 48,382. The S&P up 13 to 68.58, and the Nasdaq down 6 at 23,235. For more money news, visit the Business Center at KTAR.com. And now for a check on traffic from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center, here's Enrique Garcia.
Thank you, Melody. Phoenix with a crash blocking the right-hand lanes, I-17 southbound near Deer Valley Road. Phoenix with a crash blocking the right lane, Loop 101 Agua Fria. Westbound near 19th Avenue, a look into our surface streets. Scottsdale with a crash on Hayden Road and Roosevelt Street. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News.
Mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 52. A beautiful weekend on tap with sunny skies and a high both days of 73. Right now, it's 70 degrees in Scottsdale. I'm Melody Burkett on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Outspoken.
You are getting on my last nerve.
Speaking up for Arizona.
You've been on my last nerve for the last 3 hours.
Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. KTAR News 92.3 and the KTAR News app.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Patricia Valencia, Barry Markson, in for the boys here on Outspoken. Thanks for joining us on KTAR. Hope you had a great Christmas and a wonderful new year. And here we are, 2026. The first Friday, the first live show on KTAR, and off we go.
Have you wrote the date wrong yet? I have. I wrote it wrong today on a file in a computer.
I haven't. I even had to sign a check, and I did it right. I was, I wrote the check in 2025. I haven't had a chance yet.
Wow, I was going to say,
so far,
who writes checks anymore? But that was last year.
It was last year. It was old. It was
That's
still
old news.
Oh, my goodness. All right, it is hour number 3. And
the best hour I've heard.
That's what some people say. Yeah, it's true. This is something I think we're going to be hearing about for a little while, but Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, he was the one that was prosecuting President Trump and many people around him, first about what happened on January 6th and the fake electors, and it affected people here in Arizona, and also about the Mar-a-Lago, the top-secret documents that President Trump kept with him after leaving office and refused to return. And one of the things Jack Smith testified to in Congress, and that transcript and video were just released, and that's why we're talking about this. They tried to put it out with the garbage. They did it on
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yeah, which is that's when you put stuff out that you don't want people to see or talk about.
Pay attention to.
But one of the things he said is that there was overwhelming evidence, not just that Trump had these documents, top secret documents, at Mar-a-Lago, but that he actively worked to hide them. That he hid them when he knew people were coming and looking for him, or even his own lawyers were there trying to find them. So
So the big thing now I was asking is what's going to happen now?
Yeah, I don't think much is going to happen here now, but because the investigation that's going on now is not into President Trump, it's not into those who are helping him, but here it's into Jack Smith and other people. But here's one of the quotes that I thought was just so incredible. This is Jack Smith testifying under oath at Congress, and this is a guy again who'd been a lifelong prosecutor. He'd worked under Republicans, he worked under Democrats. He was just a prosecutor. He was a line lawyer. Our investigation is a quote. Our investigation developed proof beyond a reasonable doubt that President Trump engaged in a criminal scheme to overturn the results of the 2020 election and to prevent the lawful transfer of power. And I'm going to say, Patricia, and this is something I've been talking about for years, ever since that happened. To me, that's you can't get past that. At least I can't. I can't get past that. Our whole country is based on this ideal that we have a peaceful transfer of power, that those who represent us are elected by us, and that when we make that decision, the person in power doesn't try to stay, right? And in a lot of other countries, they don't keep a democracy or a democratic republic like we've had now for 250 years. They don't get there because somebody tries to do something to stay in power when they shouldn't. You've seen it in Turkey recently, right now it's happening. You've seen it in Hungary, where somebody's voted in and then stays in power. They take control of the mechanism of elections and the law and media, and they stay in power despite not being elected in anymore. We don't do that in the United States. In 2020, the evidence, what we're hearing, was overwhelming. And beyond a reasonable doubt, that is what Trump did. He engaged in a scheme to stay in power despite losing an election. And when
that's your breaking point. Let's say, for instance, if you were a Trump supporter and you were like, he's done some shady things, but I'm still a supporter, and you heard something like this, would that just break the camel's back?
I don't care if it was Republican or. By the way, I'm a Republican. I'm a registered Republican. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I don't care who the candidate is.
A Trump supporter, I guess you would say.
If you are a politician who loses an election, and instead of saying, okay, I lost, let me congratulate my opponent and let them get on with
concede.
But instead participate had a criminal scheme to overturn the results of the election, to me, that person should never be allowed in office again. There should be criminal charges for that, and I don't understand why anybody would vote for them. That is a line I will not cross. I can't believe I'm even saying that. 10 years ago, I never even assumed that would even happen in our country. But yet that's what happened. And I'm amazed at how many people are able to just get past that. They're going to say, I can't vote for a Democrat because of this policy or that policy. And I get that. That's okay. In a normal circumstance, we should have that discussion. You can't take this, you can't take that. This politician, I can't vote for this politician because of these policies. But when one of them had a criminal scheme to stay in power despite losing the election, that should be it. I don't know how we get past that.
That would be your breaking point.
Yeah, and I really wish Merrick Garland, who was the Attorney General under Biden, didn't do anything for 2 years. They didn't bring in a special prosecutor. They should have had a special prosecutor on day one. If you remember, after January 6th, it was Republicans who were saying what happened, what Trump did was atrocious, and he should never have power again. Remember, there was a discussion of impeaching him even after he left office, so that he could never run for office again. And everybody just backed off of that when they became aware that a lot of Republicans were still supporting Trump and these lies. I mean, that he was telling about the election being stolen from him.
So nothing can happen now to Trump, but probably we would be on the lookout for what's going to happen to
Jack Smith. So now the cases against Trump, the criminal cases against Trump, have been dismissed because he won the election and he took over the Justice Department. And now Trump he's telling you he's going after his adversaries, his political enemies, and he has said publicly that he considers Jack Smith to be a criminal enemy of the state, and he's told the Justice Department to go after him. So am I going to be surprised if we see an indictment and criminal charges against Jack Smith? No. They've already fired Jack Smith and everyone who worked for him, every lawyer, every secretary, every paralegal, people who had no political dalliance at all. They were just people who worked in the Justice Department for years and decades under Republicans and Democrats. It didn't matter. They just went to work and did their jobs. They were fired once Trump came in office. Not because they didn't do their job, but because they participated in this prosecution.
Well, let's see if something happens to him now.
We're going to find out. But
you're talking about important dates. Are we going to see another government shutdown now?
Yeah.
That's coming up
because that was just a temporary
January's here.
Yeah.
the end of January, right?
Is that the deadline?
I think so.
Oh,
January 30th?
Boy, I wish they would have done more time than that. But yeah,
We're going to need a little bit more time.
And we're still dealing with the same issues where the Obamacare subsidies that were put in place during COVID are still not extended. People are just now they've made the decision, or they have to make it by January 15th, whether to sign up for their insurance again for the next year. And I have to always remind everybody, Obamacare or the ACA, that is not, this is not Medicaid or Medicare. This is not government.
That's what happened when COVID came around.
Right. It's not government health care. It's you are buying insurance. It's Americans buying a health insurance policy, and the subsidies are just helping you do that. It's the government paying part of the cost of that premium.
And now people are not going to be able to pay part of that.
Right. They're not going to be able to pay their share because if the subsidy goes away, it's going up. It's going up on average 114%. That's more than doubled. And for many people, it's tripling or quadrupling. I mean, it's just incredible.
Do you really
what's
think
happening.
we're going to have a solution before the end of January?
No, I don't.
Do you think we have another government shutdown?
There's a lot of Republicans who want to work with Democrats. They want to try to find a solution just because politically their jobs are going to be at risk. This is going to hit a lot. Yeah. It's going to hit tens of millions of Americans. This is a real issue. And I'm not telling you that it's an easy answer. I don't know that we should be paying for health insurance for tens of millions more people. But that's where we are now. The biggest issue in the country is that health care costs continue to rise exponentially. They go up more than inflation. It goes up more than any other maybe other than college education.
It's a huge problem.
It's a huge thing, and I don't know how to fix that. And I saw a stat recently, Patricia. It was the amount of money spent per person in the United States in 1970 on medical bills per person, $350 per person.
In the 1970s.
1970 exactly.
Okay.
Okay, and then if just with inflation, to today. That amount, $350, would have been about $3,500, just with inflation. The actual amount we spend now per person,
oh gosh,
$14,500.
Yeah, I believe it,
and it's going up.
I have 2 kids,
so yeah,
I see those bills.
It's incredible, and I say this all the time. And when I do mediations, and one of the things I say all the time is, healthcare is the only thing in our country that we pay, that we don't ask how much it costs. Right?
Isn't that wild?
Isn't it crazy? Like I wouldn't go to lunch and buy a sandwich
and
without
not
knowing
know how much it costs.
Of course not. None of us would do that, right?
Car insurance. Why don't we ask how much?
Well, we get a bill.
That's what I'm saying. Why?
And you shop it around. You can do healthcare. We go to the doctor. The doctor says, "I think you should do this and this." You say, "Okay." You don't ask how much it costs. You just do it because we have insurance. We don't think we're paying for it. It's just how we do things. And they just keep raising the prices. It's a crazy thing. All right, coming up, is it time? It's time for Stream Team.
Yay!
My goodness. All right, we're going to talk about Stream Team. Patricia and I will give you some things that we're watching and give you maybe some things that we might want to do. Melody, we didn't give you a heads up about this, but if you have a Stream Team, you can join us in that as well. And then on the other side, we'll give you that Stream Team, and then more information coming up in just a moment about ice. They're saying Phoenix is the next destination for ice. But right now, we'll get an update in the KTAR News Center and then back with more Outspoken on KTAR.
Hey, it's Gatos for Advanced Window Products, and boy, do we have a New Year's special for you. At Advanced Window Products, when you mention Gatos, $1,250 off 5 or more windows. And how about this? Up to $2,500 off when you purchase 10 windows or more. 40-year anniversary. That's right, 40 years. They are here to stay, and I'm sending you to a local Arizona company, a family-owned business, a company that I hired. They specialize in custom vinyl replacement windows and doors. If your windows are leaking air, discolored, warping, or have condensation between the panes, it's time to get those replaced now. You save money, you save energy. Call 480-746-4280. The New Year special, $1,250 off 5 or more windows and up to $2,500 off when you purchase 10 windows or more. Go to advancedwindows.com.
KTAR News Flash.
At 6:15, I'm Melody Burkett, and this is what you need to know right now. The San Francisco Bay Area is dealing with flooding from seasonal king tides that have come into neighborhoods along the water.
In Marin County, north of San Francisco, some neighborhoods are inundated with water. People are getting around using kayaks. Much of the West Coast is dealing with seasonal king tides. They are the highest tides of the year. They're created by the gravitational alignment of the sun and the moon. They can flood roads and neighborhoods that are along the water. Areas of far northern California are also reporting impacts.
That's ABC's Alex Stone. All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app. And now for a check on traffic, here's Enrique Garcia, live from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Melody. Phoenix with a crash blocking the right-hand lanes, I-17 southbound near Deer Valley Drive. Phoenix with a crash block in the right lane, Loop 101, Agua Fria, westbound near 19th Avenue. And a look into our surface streets. Phoenix with a crash on 26th Drive and Campbell Avenue. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News, now back with Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. I'm Barry Marks, and here with Patricia Valencia. Thanks for joining us here on KTAR in the new year. Very excited. Back to the old schedule on January 5th. Patricia will be in first thing in the morning at 8 a.m. with Mike Broomhead, bringing the show to you.
I just asked Barry, which one are you, Bruce or Gatos?
It's a hard decision. I don't want to be either one. Is that all right?
Can I be Julia? I'll be Julia instead.
Be Julia. Special thanks to our listeners out in Whitman, Arizona.
Hello, Whitman.
The Whitmanonians.
If I lived in Whitman, I would call my car the Whitman Mobile.
The Whitman Mobile. I like that. All right.
Fun.
Well, thanks for listening out in Whitman. We appreciate it. Hey, Christmas through New Year's Day, I guess that's already over. But it is the weakest time for blood donations around the valley. And also, January is the highest blood usage month of the year for most patients. It's a huge month, and it's a big need in January. As we come out of the holiday season, please consider making a blood donation on Sunday, January 4th. That's this Sunday at Vitalint's Saving Arizona Blood Drive. You can schedule your appointment now at vitalint.org.
It's Vitalint.
It is?
Yes.
All right, then.
That's how you say it. Well, I'm just saying because I've worked with them before.
You're right, and it even says that here, if I could read that. Vitalint. Schedule your appointment now at vitalint.org/Arizona. Am I saying Arizona right?
I think so.
All right, good.
Are you a blood donor, Barry?
That'd be bad. No, because I'm always thinking I need my blood, but I'd like to.
You like to keep it all to yourself.
I should be a blood donor.
I was just saying, we were talking about this blood drive on Tuesday, and I was saying if you make your resolution to be a blood donor, this would be a great time.
That's a good idea. You know,
your first time.
I don't do resolutions because I don't like to disappoint myself. But I'm
Me neither, actually. I don't really do big on.
But I should be a blood, and I've done it in the past. But
I have too.
I should do it more.
It's a good thing.
It's an important thing, and I don't even know what my blood type is. But I think I might be the odd one, like one of the harder ones.
O positive or O negative.
I don't know why I think that, but I don't know what it is, and I think that
because you're an odd one.
And yeah. And now I actually have to go to the doctor, and I'm old, and I have to get blood tests and stuff. And I always ask them, hey, what's my blood type? And they're like, oh, we don't test for that. I'm like, you have to test for what my blood type is. I said,
if you donate blood, they tell you it's on your card.
That's what I think I should.
I'm B positive. It's easy, right?
How could you not be positive?
How could I not be positive?
That's awesome.
I know, it's a really easy one.
But I thought that I could give blood and find out. Because, you know, if I have the doctor find out, it's like $100.
I know, it costs a lot.
Why would I have to pay for that?
I don't know. That's so weird. Don't you think that they should let you know?
I think so.
Hey, by the way, I think I need blood. I might be, O negative.
Yeah,
I don't know, though, because it costs.
I feel like I should know that. They should stamp that on my head somewhere. So, all right. Well, check out Vitalint. You can go to schedule an appointment at vitalint.org/Save Arizona. Maybe I'll do that as well.
Very cool.
All right, it's Stream Team. This is where we talk a little bit about, Patricia, we talk about something we've been streaming online.
They need a fancy song intro for this. Stream Team or something.
The last time I sat in, I waited for the music, and there's no music at all.
We need to change that, Julia. Just letting you know. I can sing, too. We'll do a jingle.
Oh, they should totally do that.
Anyway.
The guys came in, and next week he just played that. They're like, what's that?
They would love it.
All right, so Patricia, what have you been streaming?
I love Landman.
Oh, Landman's
Can't get enough of Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes.
Yeah, there's just something about that show. It's so good.
It's funny.
Are you watching it?
I have watched Landman. I'm in the middle of season 2. But it's funny, you say you love Billy Bob Thornton, and there's a couple of characters I like more than Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay, who?
Well, they're both those women.
In Landman. I know, I was going to say, is it probably Allie Carter and...
his wife and daughter.
I can't remember. Did you know that she went to ASU?
I did know that. And she's supposed to be playing like a teenager, but she's like 28 years old or something.
That's always the case.
Yeah.
That's always the case.
They're both beautiful.
I am on season 2. Yes, they are both gorgeous. Yeah. I do love them as well. I'm like maybe episode 3 or 4 of season 2, so I still have a way, but I'm caught up more than you.
Yeah,
right?
I think I might be on season 2 or episode 2 of season 2.
Okay, so barely.
But it's a great show.
It is a great show.
Yeah, you want to talk about what it's about a little bit?
Yeah, I guess it's not really ruining anything about it.
Just generally.
Billy Bob Thornton's this big oil dude.
Yeah.
Head honcho out in Texas.
That's right.
and I don't know.
Finding and pumping oil.
Yes, and you're following the shenanigans of him in the business and his wife and their
His
crazy
family.
daughter.
Yep, and his son
and
is
their
in
son
it.
Cooper. I love Cooper.
It sounds crazy, but it's really, really cool.
And the girl, I can't remember what's her name. Gosh.
I don't know.
Anyways, Cooper's love interest. She's from El Paso.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah. So I just love knowing all these crazy things about people on TV.
It is a great show.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been watching, it's a great time to jump in. You can get all of season 1. And I think pretty much all of season 2 is out there now, right?
Almost.
Because that's one that they do week by week.
It's released episodically.
Yeah,
yes.
but I think now you could actually watch both. It is a really, really great show. It's on Paramount. Paramount Plus. So
Some
yeah, landman. That's right.
Mike Broomhead likes it too. We always talk about it.
It's a great show.
It's a great show. What
Really
are you into right now?
So I'm watching. This is not really streaming this, but I just watched this yesterday on CNN, and I think they have a stream. I think you can watch it on HBO Max also, and I think CNN even has a website now where you can watch stuff. But it's I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not.
I saw an ad for that, and I thought it was just like a funny
meme
or something, but it is an actual
it's
a show.
It's a 2-hour documentary that kind of about Chevy Chase, and it started. I'm not even halfway through yet, but it started with his life kind of quickly where he grew up.
Who
and
was
then,
it told by him?
He's in it. He's definitely in it and talking it. His wife is in it. Ex-wives are in it. A lot of the people that he worked with on Saturday Night Live are in there talking about it.
Interesting.
And there's a lot of people who he worked with who are not big Chevy Chase fans.
You made me sad when you said that because I love Chevy Chase.
And he is an interesting character. So he's a funny guy, and you forget the movies he did. He was a giant movie star for a long time.
For a very long time.
All the vacation movies.
One of my favorites is called Seems Like Old Times.
Yes,
that's old movie.
Yes, but even the movies like Fletch and he was in Caddyshack. He was a huge part of Caddyshack. Just these classic comedy movies that if you're a guy growing up at my age, you quoted from these movies. You and your friends were quoting these movies all the time, and Chevy Chase was in all of these. It's absolutely incredible. But they go through his time at Saturday Night Live. He was only there for 1 year, and then he left the show after that first year. They won all these Emmys, and he won an Emmy, and it was just all this stuff. But even then, there's a lot of pushback with other people in the cast.
Really?
It was interesting. I'm learning a lot about him.
I like shows like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of people in cast that were on Saturday Night Live, another show that I like watching is Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, yeah,
with Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez.
Yep. I haven't seen that.
Another great show for the stream team.
It's funny. There's a movie that Chevy Chase did with Martin Short and Steve Martin called The Three Amigos.
Oh, yes, of course.
That at the time was panned as this awful movie.
Oh,
and now people talk about it being good.
It's a novelty now.
Yeah,
I love The Three Amigos.
It's incredible. So that's in there too. Steve Martin's in it. Martin Short's in the documentary. It's a lot of people in the documentary that you know.
I have to watch it now.
Talking about.
You found that on CNN?
CNN had it. They broadcast it yesterday.
Okay.
And I'm assuming
I'm sure it's somewhere in there.
I'm sure it's somewhere. Yeah. I think CNN is hooked up with HBO Max because they're all owned by Warner Brothers.
Now I really want to go check it out.
Yeah, it's 2 hours of documentary, and if you have any interest in Saturday Night Live or Chevy Chase, really good opportunity. It even had his real name in there, which is his real name. That's just a nickname for it, but it's like Cornelius something Chase.
Longer,
yeah. It was very interesting. So, all right, so there you have it. 2 big things from the stream team coming up. Is ICE heading to Phoenix? And I'm not talking about for your drink. Is ICE coming here to up arrests and deportations from Phoenix? Are we the next city in the spotlight? We'll talk about that next and the latest reporting. That's Patricia Valencia. I'm Barry Markson, in for Outspoken, my goodness, on KTAR.
Hey guys, it's Broomhead. If you have low T, it's time to get your edge back. Starting testosterone therapy with Red Mountain Weight Loss and get a month of GLP-1 weight loss medication absolutely free. That's a $299 value. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone restores the get up and go so you'll feel like you're 20 again. Gain more muscle with less effort in the gym. You'll also think better. You'll sleep better. Your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. It's a game changer. And if you're looking to lose weight, there's nothing like the combo of testosterone and GLP-1 medication. It'll burn that belly fat and get you ripped. This month, get free GLP-1 medication, a $299 value, when you start testosterone therapy at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment today. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your smartphone, keyword Red Mountain. Time to get your edge back at Red Mountain Weight Loss.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Breaking news, traffic, weather. KTAR News, Arizona's news station.
Hi, Jamie West here. Beatitudes campus in North Central Phoenix has been serving Arizona seniors for years, and they know one of the best things about the holidays is spending extra time with family and friends, some you may not have seen in a while. If you notice changes in your mom, dad, or loved one, maybe they need a little more help or to be more active and make new friends. See how special Beatitudes Campus is. Schedule a tour at beatitudescampus.org. Beatitudescampus.org. Live brightly, age boldly at Beatitudes Campus.
Hey, this is Jim Sharp, and I'm here with Stuart Willis, the president of Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. It's the place I've trusted with my own estate plan, so I know how important this is, Stuart. So, and most people think trusts are just for the wealthy, but here in Arizona, definitely not the case, right?
That's right, Jim. And, look, without a trust, it's very likely that your estate is going to go through probate, which means that it's the courts that decide who gets your money. Oh. It's costly, it's public, and oftentimes super stressful for families. A trust keeps things private. It avoids delays, ensures the right people inherit your money, and we don't stop at one document. We create a full estate planning portfolio with wills, power of attorneys, healthcare directives, and living wills for end-of-life decisions.
The way my 10 and 12-year-old fight over everything, I can't imagine them fighting over my estate. So contact Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax and get a free portfolio review. Go to assetpreservationwealth.com. Tell them Jim Sharp sent you at assetpreservationwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundation Investment Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor.
KTAR News, Arizona's news station. Traffic, weather, breaking news when it happens. World news, national news, local news. KTAR News, 92.3. The KTAR News app, KTAR.com.
Investors, stop letting income verification hold you back. With Waterstone Mortgage's DSCR program, your property pays for itself. No tax returns, no W-2s, just cash flow. Buy more, refinance smarter, scale faster. Purchases and refinances, including cash out. This is Amy Batten, host of Keeping It Real Estate with Amy B. Text CLOSE to 620-620 or visit keepingitrealestatewithamyb.com.
Message and rates may apply. Waterstone Mortgage Corporation, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 1864348, Amy Batten, NMLS 1897666.
Hey, it's Mike Broomhead. You've seen the Sweet James billboards, but here's what you need to know about them. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, Sweet James Accident Attorneys is a team you want on your side. With just over 25 years experience, 500 plus trials, and a win rate of 98% of the time, you need Sweet James in your corner. They've even been named the best attorneys in America. SweetJames.com or 800-9-million, 800-900-0000.
KTAR News now.
It's 6:30. I'm Melody Burkett. The first measles case has been reported in Pima County since 2019. Pima County Public Health Department Director Dr. Teresa Cullen says the individual was quickly hospitalized and isolated in a Tucson medical facility after they crossed the southern border and tested positive in our state. Cullen says there's no current threat, but it does take some time for symptoms to appear.
At this time, we believe that there is low risk to the community from this individual case. However, the acquisition and the symptoms of measles can occur up to 14 days after someone may have been exposed.
Cullen says the Pima County Health Department will continue to monitor the situation closely, adding, if you have any unusual symptoms, seek medical care. Following the horrific New Year's fire at a Swiss resort bar that killed dozens of people, prosecutors in Switzerland say the owners of the bar are cooperating with their investigation. ABC's Tom Sophie Burridge reports from the scene.
At one point, a man tries to extinguish the flames with what appears to be a piece of clothing. People desperately racing to get away from the scene as fire consumes the bar. Letitia's 16-year-old son, named Arthur, was at the bar to celebrate the new year and is now missing. All I want is to find my child, she says.
Residents and tourists ran into the streets of Acapulco this morning after an earthquake struck southern and central Mexico.
The quake, with a magnitude of 6.5, could be felt 300 miles away in Mexico City, where President Claudia Sheinbaum was conducting her first weekly press conference of the year.
Ya muy pronto, espero la próxima semana, lunes o martes. Hoy está temblando.
The room was evacuated, but Sheinbaum returned later to say that she had spoken with the governor of Guerrero State, where the quake was centered, and was told that so far there were no reports of serious damage. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The Miami Hurricanes and Ole Miss will duke it out in Glendale next week for the Fiesta Bowl. Announcing the teams at Sky Harbor today, Executive Director of the Arizona Sports Foundation, Eric Moses, says the game is one of the state's most important sporting events. He says the Fiesta Bowl and surrounding activities pull in around $200 million every year for the Valley. This year's bowl is acting as a semifinal, with the winning team advancing to the national championship game. The 17th ranked Arizona Wildcats are battling the SMU Mustangs in the Holiday Bowl at this hour. Right now, the Mustangs are ahead by 7, no score by the Wildcats. On the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns are in Sacramento to take on the Kings tonight. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. Catch all the action on Arizona Sports 98.7 FM. Sports is brought to you by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. And now for a check on traffic, here's Enrique Garcia live from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Melody. Peoria with a crash on the US 60 Grand Avenue westbound near Royal Palm. Phoenix with a crash blocking the HOV lane. I-10 Maricopa Freeway westbound near Ho-Ho-Com Expressway. And a look into our service streets, Peoria with a crash on 71st Avenue and Grand Avenue. This report is brought to you by the Maricopa County Home and Garden Show, January 9th through the 11th at the Arizona State Fairgrounds with over 1,000 home experts. Info at mchomeshows.com. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News.
Cloudy tonight with a low of 52, sunny on Saturday and Sunday with both days the high reaching 73. Right now it's 67 degrees in Mesa. I'm Melody Burkett on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Patricia Valencia, Barry Markson, taking you up till 7 here on Outspoken. Thanks for joining us on KTAR.
Did you play this song because we're going to talk about ice? Okay.
No,
I mean, it would go, fire and ice.
Pitbull he hosted a whole thing, New Year's Eve thing at the Bellagio in Las Vegas.
Nice.
They rung in the West Coast New Year's.
Pitbull's my homie.
On one of those on ABC, I think, or something. Yeah, he's your homie.
I got to hang out with Pitbull before.
Really?
I have.
How did that happen?
My musical radio career has a lot of stories from back in the day with actual concerts and people, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and now you're just stuck with Broomhead every morning. I'm sorry. Look what we've done to you.
Now I'm hosting with Barry Markson.
Now that's a highlight right there. First show of the year. Here we go.
No.
Oh my goodness.
It has been great.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. So this is big news here in Phoenix. It's being reported by The Bulwark. It's a news organization online. It's legitimate, and they're saying that ICE is heading to Phoenix. That Phoenix is going to be the next city where ICE kind of. I was going to say infiltrates, but that's not the right word.
Convenes.
But they kind of flood the area with ICE agents and law enforcement. I would have thought they would have gotten
here a lot sooner, considering our conditions and our border.
So do you think this is going to be? I mean, are we going to notice this? Are they going to start pulling so many people off the streets here? Look, like most cities, but maybe Phoenix even more. We have illegal immigrants here, right? There's no question about that. We have to. We're a border state. There's certainly going to be people here who are not in the country legally. Is this going to be something where they flood in here and take a ton of people away who live here?
Well, I hope not. I hope that they're doing what their mission has been, supposedly supposed to be from the beginning, as in take away criminals that are in our country illegally. And I don't know. It seems that there's stories coming out that it seems not to be the case all the time.
Yeah, look, we've seen the stories that, and they don't deny them, but I mean, the Trump administration, Stephen Miller, who's the deputy chief of staff, he has placed very high, in essence, quotas on the Department of Homeland Security, on ICE, that they are to deport a certain number of people every single day. They wanted 2,000, then 3,000 people every day. They want to show big numbers of deportations. And, I don't know where you are on this, Patricia. I mean, I think we're on the same page. If there are people who are in the country illegally and have committed crimes here, if they've committed really bad crimes where they came from, I think most everybody would say, yeah, let's deport those people.
Okay, I have an instance.
Okay.
What about Kilmar Abrego Garcia?
Yes.
He's done so many bad things. He's a criminal.
He hasn't been convicted of any of those things.
He hasn't been convicted, but even his own wife had been saying, there's domestic violence and stuff like that. Like, why are we fighting so hard to keep somebody like that here?
So here's, if you want to talk about that, we can do that. He is, the reason we're fighting for him, we're not fighting to keep him here. The problem is when they took all these Venezuelan people who were in the country illegally and said we're going to deport them to El Salvador, there was an order in place for that person in particular that says you can't send him to El Salvador because he's El Salvadorian and he faced retribution and injury and death.
So there was something,
there was a court order that said if you're going to deport him, you can't deport him there. And they deported him there. And that was the problem. And they tried to stop it in the Trump administration. If you remember, the Trump administration originally said we can't get him back. The court said take steps to have him return to the United States. And Trump's folks said we can't do that. It won't work. Well, guess what? They got him back. I mean, so they did do it eventually. And then they tried to charge him with crimes, and they dropped that. It's just been kind of this weird thing.
So in the first place, though, why was El Salvador saying that people were out for him?
Because he maybe had done crimes there. Look, I'm not here defending the guy.
I know, but neither am I. I'm just saying, like, why?
But we have to follow
such a big fight?
We have to follow our laws, and the fight was that there was a court order in place that says you can't deport him to this one country, and they sent him to that country.
But nobody wants him. Like, what are we supposed to do with him?
Well, that's the problem. We have to find a country to do that. So there's some other countries that have taken in some other people. This is why the Trump administration loves El Salvador so much, because they have this really awful prison there, and they've said, send them to us. We'll take whoever you want. And most countries don't do that. Most countries aren't saying, yeah, send us your Venezuelan gang members. We'll take them. I mean, they don't want them. I mean, they don't want to house them. They don't want to have them in prisons, and they certainly don't want them roaming the streets. So it's a difficult circumstance. I don't know that anyone's necessarily here defending this guy Garcia.
Exactly.
But the question is, do we follow our own laws? Do we follow our own court orders? And we have to. We have to do that.
I just never understood why that was such a big,
that's why
issue.
Yeah,
he didn't seem like such a great person to have here in the first place.
No, and that's the other problem is he hasn't been convicted of any crimes. There's no evidence that he's done anything illegal in the United States. I shouldn't say that. There's evidence maybe, but he hasn't been convicted of anything. But I think most people say, yeah, deport him, but we have to do it legally. We have to follow our laws. And it's hard, right? Because sometimes you're just saying, screw the law, get rid of this guy. But if we do that, then we lose protection. Then the people who are citizens
are here legally and not bothering anybody.
If you're a supporter of the Constitution and the constitutional rights, those don't just extend to citizens. They extend to anybody that's in the United States, whether you're a citizen or not. You may not like that, but that's what the Constitution says. That's what the law says. So he's entitled to certain rights when he's here, just like everybody is. And we have to follow the rights for him, even if he's a bad guy, because if we don't, then those rights evaporate for the good people.
I just wish he wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah, well, there's bad people. There's no question about that.
I know, there definitely is.
So, but ICE is reportedly, they're coming to Phoenix. They're going to flood the zone. We're going to get all the ICE agents here and DHS, and they oftentimes bring other law enforcement with them when they do that. Patricia, you're in the Hispanic community here. Do you have concerns about how ICE does this? Because they don't just go after the criminals or people with a criminal background. In many cases, they're pulling Hispanic people over just because they look Hispanic, or they're stopping people because they hear them speaking Spanish. Nothing else. No evidence of a crime, no probable cause. Does that concern you, and do you think that'll concern the Hispanic community here in Phoenix?
I definitely think it'll concern people. I hope it's not happening, because what we've heard from the get-go is that they're stopping, like the biggest criminals, and they're trying to get those out of our country. And if that's not the case...
Well, it's not. We know now statistically 70% of the people that ICE is arresting or taking or detaining have no criminal background. They're doing the criminal too, right, but they're just taking an awful lot of folks who their only crime is being in the country illegally.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that needs to be vetted. That process needs to be overlooked, because it's not going well.
But that's
apparently.
But that's the Trump administration's policy. I mean, that's what they're doing, And the courts have generally been letting that happen. There have been a couple of Supreme Court cases recently where even Justice Kavanaugh wrote that they could do that if just because you're Hispanic or just because you speak Spanish is enough for a police officer to pull you over or to stop you and question you. He's now trying to back away from that a little bit, but that's what they've been doing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm upset by it. I'm all about the Constitution. Everybody's rights have to be protected. If you're in the country illegally, if you're not a citizen, you're not here legally, okay, you have some issues we have to deal with, but you have constitutional rights as well. We have to follow our laws. If we follow the law, I'm okay. I don't think we need to do it in a mean way, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily disagree with what they're doing, but they need to do it correctly.
Yeah, they're not doing it.
And that's not what they're doing.
Right. And when they're they just deported this guy who'd been in the country for 34 years, hadn't committed a crime. He has 6 kids here, adult kids. He had a life here.
How does something like that fall through the cracks?
Because there's millions and millions of people like that who've fallen through the cracks. The immigration system is overwhelmed. There's not enough judges. And then some people just stay and they're not caught.
They don't even fight it because what's the use now?
And there are people who will make the argument that what Trump and his administration is doing now is necessary. That no one has ever gone after and tried to deport people who are here illegally, and we are overwhelmed by it, and we need to clear some people out. That's a discussion that can be had.
Right, it's a whole different discussion.
I think most everybody would agree, and certainly the polling shows this, the way they're handling it is not being approved by the American public. It's if you're getting rid of criminals, I think overwhelmingly...
Who wouldn't want to get rid of criminals?
Right. But when you're just pulling over people who are living their life here and trying to work or raise a family or have an opportunity...
I think it will raise concerns, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm afraid with bringing that to Phoenix, we'll see how what happens. I hope they've calmed down. The courts recently said Trump can't put the military in these cities. He's actually pulled it out of... The National Guard. He's pulled it out of L.A. and out of Chicago, and he's doing that now. I'm hoping they're going to start to handle this in a different way, but they haven't started doing that yet. So
maybe Phoenix will be the turnaround city.
Phoenix will be the first.
That'd be great.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? If we could make that happen, that would be nice. All right, I will tell you, we just looked at this on Twitter a moment ago on X.
Oh gosh, it's so scary.
It is. It's super scary, and why you should be wary of the X, the Twitter chat bot. It's called Grok. If you didn't know.
How can you protect yourself?
But don't make sure.
We'll talk about it.
No pictures. Yeah, but it is. Grok is doing something that shocked me. I think it shocks a lot of people, and certainly a lot of women. We'll tell you what that is next. And by the way, some of the other AI chatbots aren't doing this, but Grok is. So we'll talk about that next. I'm Barry Markson with Patricia Valencia here today, in for Bruce and Gatos on KTAR.
I grew up here. I'm raising my kids here. This is my home. I feel a real responsibility to this land and to this community. At Resolution Copper, it's my job to balance development and preservation. You know, this will be one of the most water-efficient mines of its kind. That's a big deal. Everyone who works here calls this place home. We're going to protect it.
Copper is essential to Arizona's economy and to America's future. Learn more at resolutioncopper.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
KTAR, the voices of Arizona. Arizona's morning news. Mike Broomhead, Chris and Joe, outspoken, alongside Arizona's largest radio news team, covering the valley, your city, your neighborhood. KTAR News.
I'm Doug Hopkins with My Home Group and DougHopkins.com. If you're looking to sell your house and want the convenience of a guaranteed cash offer, I'd be honored if you gave us a try. I've been working in Valley Real Estate for 25 years and have purchased over 18,000 homes during that time. DougHopkins.com offers you peace of mind while selling your house. Since I'm paying you cash, there are no banks involved, no closing costs, no expensive real estate commissions, and you can sell your house in as-is condition with no repairs. I take care of everything. DougHopkins.com will give you an honest cash offer for your house. We'll put it in writing and we'll guarantee it. We're not going to bait and switch you by offering a high amount contingent upon inspections. Then down the road, come back and try to renegotiate to a lower price. The price I offer the first time is the price I'll pay, and I'll guarantee it with a $5,000 non-refundable security deposit. It's as simple as that. Just go to DougHopkins.com for your free no-obligation cash offer 24 hours a day, or call 1-800-SELL-NOW. That's 1-800-SELL-NOW.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-961-3044. 800-961-3044. 800-961-3044.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KTAR News Flash.
At 6:46, I'm Melody Burkett, and this is what you need to know right now. Tesla lost the throne as the world's largest electric vehicle manufacturer.
Tesla's sales fell by 9% last year, and that means Elon Musk's company is no longer the world's largest electric vehicle manufacturer. That title goes to China's BYD, which sold 2.26 million vehicles last year, compared to Tesla's 1.64 million. Musk once dismissed BYD with a laugh, and more recently has said that car sales matter less to Tesla because the company's future is focused on its robo-taxis, energy storage business, and building robots. Brian Clark, ABC News.
All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app. And now for a check on traffic, here's Enrique Garcia, live from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Melody. Peoria with a crash on the US 60 Grand Avenue, westbound near Royal Palm. Phoenix again with a crash blocking the HOV lane, I-10 Maricopa Freeway, westbound near Ho-Ho-Com Expressway. A look into our surface streets. Scottsdale with a crash on Hayden Road and Roosevelt Street. This report is brought to you by Mountainside Fitness, 35 years strong, 25 locations valley-wide. Join Mountainside Fitness with a $0 enrollment and 30 days free. MountainsideFitness.com. Enrique Garcia, KTAR News.
If you got a mortgage in the last 3 years, listen up. It's Gatos for Lund Mortgage. Mortgage rates have dropped considerably since the last time, so you might want to consider refinancing the mortgage and save money. My friends at Lund Mortgage track the interest rates daily, so they can help you act fast and save big. And it couldn't be easier. Just send an email to ratewatch@lundmortgage.com, and they'll monitor the market for you and send you an alert when it's the right time to refinance. That's ratewatch@lundmortgage.com. And don't fall for those mailers or robocalls with rates that sound too good to be true. Lund Mortgage will show you the whole picture, rates and total costs, so you can make an informed financial decision. And if you're buying or refinancing now, you won't have to make a mortgage payment until 2026. Generations of Arizonans have trusted Lund Mortgage just like me, and so should you. Just email ratewatch@lundmortgage.com and start saving. That's ratewatch@lundmortgage.com.
Start the year moving, not hurting. If joint pain is holding you back, there's a way to get real relief without surgery, without downtime, and without putting your life on pause. QC Kinetics delivers regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Instead of facing an invasive operation that sidelines you for months, these treatments happen right in the office and you go about your day. Simple procedures that can deliver big, life-changing results. Imagine this instead. You're moving better, stronger, planning the year you actually want, all because you took care of the pain the smart way. Game-changing regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics. January's supposed to be your clean slate, so make it one. Stop managing the pain and start solving it with QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation with clinics in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN.
The Gatos Big Q poll question, brought to you by your Valley Toyota dealers.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Barry Markson, Patricia Valencia in for Bruce and Gatos here on Outspoken. It's time for the Big Q poll question of the day, brought to you by your Valley's Toyota dealers. And Julia is producing the big program today. She's producing, she's directing. She did not bring us a sandwich.
No, I failed at that. I apologize.
Is your mic on?
Yeah, it's on. Oh, there we go. See? I had to go up a little bit.
Yeah, normally she brings us a sandwich. We didn't get a sandwich today. I don't know what's happening.
Wow.
It's a little odd.
I missed the sandwich day.
All right, what do we have here, Julia?
All right, guys. Today's Gato's Big Q poll question of the day is, do you succeed at keeping your New Year's resolutions?
Ah.
A, I don't make them because I know I won't keep them. B, sometimes. C, never. Or D, always.
Well,
I think I'm going to have to go with I don't make them because I know I won't keep them.
Yeah, I don't say I don't make them because I won't keep them, because if I want to do something, I do it sometimes.
I don't know anything worthy of a resolution.
Yeah, it's like, I'll just do that. I don't need to make a resolution.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And you could do it any day of the year.
That's right.
Don't do it on January 1st.
2 weeks ago, I've been having more time. I took some time off at the end of the year, and I started working out, and I'm back in the gym, and I'm doing that. And it's not a New Year's resolution. It's like just time for me to get back in the gym.
Exactly.
That's how I do it. All right, what do you say, Julia?
What do you think, Julia?
I put sometimes. I kept one resolution this year. I read 25 books, which is what I wanted to do.
Wow.
So I was really proud of myself for that one.
Those children's books don't really usually count, but okay, I'm still proud of you.
My average book length was about like 420 pages or so.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
Wow.
So yeah, my goal was to read about 10,000 pages, so I exceeded that, which is good.
That's a little crazy.
Julia, I'm proud of you.
I have to tell you, you don't seem any smarter than me than last year, but okay, it's good for you. It's all right. It's
Barry,
good.
I can't imagine the amount of reading you do for your job.
That's a lot of reading, yeah, but not fun reading. All right, so what do the people say?
The people said, resounding, I don't make them because I know I won't keep them, 62%.
62%.
I think resolutions are slipping now.
Yeah.
People don't do them anymore. It's not a big thing.
Yeah. But
it's like, I'm glad I'm alive. How about that? I survived 2025.
That's true.
Yay for me.
There you go.
And now we got another whole year ahead of us here in 2026.
And you know what? If that's all you did, then that's fine. I'm glad you survived.
You're so nice.
Good job.
You're so nice. All right, one quick thing here. This is on Grok, and that's the AI chat box. And thank you, Julia. That's the AI chatbot from X, from Elon Musk,
formerly known as Twitter.
Right, Twitter and X. They have. If you go on there and you ask a question, Grok pops up, and I think it's like ChatGPT. It's another chat. It's another AI thing.
Hey, kind of this goes with your resolution. You want to know what you look like skinny? Just ask Grok.
I'm going to do that.
Do that for you.
Now I'm going to get people putting me in the make me even fatter. But I will tell you what we're seeing now is, and this is how I first saw it. I showed you earlier. They're doing stuff with photographs now. So usually you could ask a question and it tells you here's what's going on. So now what I started seeing was pictures, and it was almost always pictures of President Trump with somebody. The one I just showed you was a picture of President Trump and President Biden in the White House together, and then somebody said, "Hey, Grok, take out the person who is one of the worst presidents
or something like
that."
Yeah,
and then the next picture Grok shows you is no Trump.
Yeah,
Trump's taken out of the picture. So I was seeing that. Apparently, what a lot of people are doing is you take a picture of a woman, like a normal picture, clothed woman, and say, take this picture and put her on the beach holding a margarita and dancing.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, that woman in the picture is in a bikini.
It looks just like her.
Yeah,
and it looks so real.
It's amazing.
You know what? AI is so scary now. A lot of people can't tell what's real or not.
Yeah.
I see people share videos with me. The other day, I was watching a video where these pets were choosing their owners, okay? And I was like, oh my God, how sweet. They're all going into a shelter. The pet's walking up who they want to, right? Totally wanting to cry.
Oh, I saw that.
My
that wasn't real?
My 9-year-old daughter was like, Mom, sorry, but that's AI.
I saw that too. I thought
sorry
that was real.
Sorry to ruin your life, but there you go. AI is ruining everybody's life.
I thought that was real. Oh, that's so sad. All right, well, so keep an eye on your pictures. The Grok thing, I hope they change that. Most of the other chatbots will not do that. They don't do anything sexual, but Grok is. So hopefully they'll figure out a way to put a control on that. Patricia, that was great.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here with us, and thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for Julia running the big program and taking care of everything, and it's been a lot of fun, folks. I hope everyone's having a good New Year so far. Stay tuned to KTAR. We've got more live and local all night long and over the weekend. And then on Monday, back to the schedule.
That's right. I'll catch you on the Mike Broomhead Show.
There you go.
Bright and early,
8 till noon. There you go. So stay with us, folks. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend and a very happy and healthy New Year. For Patricia Valencia, I'm Barry Markson. It's KTAR.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey guys, it's Broomhead. If you have low T, it's time to get your edge back. Starting testosterone therapy with Red Mountain Weight Loss and get a month of GLP-1 weight loss medication absolutely free. That's a $299 value. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone restores the get up and go so you'll feel like you're 20 again. Gain more muscle with less effort in the gym. You'll also think better. You'll sleep better. Your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. It's a game changer. And if you're looking to lose weight, there's nothing like the combo of testosterone and GLP-1 medication. It'll burn that belly fat and get you ripped. This month, get free GLP-1 medication, a $299 value, when you start testosterone therapy at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment today. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your smartphone, keyword Red Mountain. Time to get your edge back at Red Mountain Weight Loss.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down. Get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today. 480-990-3300. That's 480-990-3300.
Annuities not advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at trajanwealth.com.
KTAR-FM, Glendale, Phoenix, Arizona.